The cleft community with lifelong smiles.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Vice President J.D. Vance lands in Greenland. Lisa Brady, Fox News, arriving within the past hour and meeting with U.S. service members, emphasizing the administration's interest in Arctic security.
As you all know, it's a big issue, and it's only going to get bigger over the coming decades. So thanks for doing what you do.
He and the Second Lady sharing a meal with U.S. service members at a Space Force base where they're now getting a briefing on security issues. President Trump has suggested the U.S. should take control of Greenland, currently a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. Today's visit was scaled back and limited to the U.S. base amid diplomatic tension, partly over lack of a formal invitation. President Trump holds his first call with Canada's new prime minister, who just yesterday vowed to fight back against new tariffs. The president calling today's call extremely productive. Prime Minister Mark Carney calling it very constructive. He says he told the president Canada plans retaliatory tariffs, but he also says they agree to begin negotiations on a new economic and security relationship after Canada's federal elections next month. A wildfire fight continues in the Carolinas.
What we're facing here is, you've seen the movie The Perfect Storm. Well, this might be the perfect fire.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster already has a burn ban in effect and the National Guard deployed to help. But the Table Rock fire has grown to more than 10,000 acres, one of several active fires burning in very dry conditions through areas hard to navigate, with trees taken down by Hurricane Helene last fall. In North Carolina, crews have been battling at least two of the fires for more than a week. Rescue crews searching the rubble of collapsed buildings after a powerful earthquake hit Burma and neighboring Thailand, killing more than 140 people, injuring hundreds. It's not known how many may be trapped or already dead in the wreckage. The 7.7 quake was centered near Burma's second largest city, Mandalay. America is listening to Fox News.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month.
Definitely a very smart move.
Get both and watch Star Wars Andor Season 2 and Mufasa the Lion King on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of stories with all of us.
On Hulu, it's the new season of The Handmaid's Tale and A Complete Unknown.
Give a warm welcome to Bob Dylan.
Don't miss your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month for 4 months. New and returning subscribers, 18 plus only. After 4 months, plan auto renews at $10.99 a month until canceled. Offer ends 3/30/25. Terms apply.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Mostly sunny skies. It's windy and it's warm as we go through our Friday afternoon. 80 for the high. Tonight the clouds take over 60. Saturday a mix of clouds and sunshine, but let's expect some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms. 75 and windy. Sunday, best chance for some rain, periods of rain, and some thunderstorms around. 75, colder for a day on Monday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Homeowners, selling your St. Louis home is a big deal, and look, I understand selecting the right agent can be a daunting task, but it is crucial. Mark Cox here. There are agents out there who will tell you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business, and that's why I only recommend my friend and trusted agent, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands you need assurances when selling your home, not just empty promises. That's why Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it. You might ask, how can she make such a guarantee? Easy. Gloria knows how to market and properly price your home. Plus, she has a database of thousands of exclusive buyers, many of whom are looking for a home just like yours. Take it from me. Call my friend Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members.
If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly. It's all through Medicaid, and as a St. Louis resident, it's 100% free to you. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area, this service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select brake rotors. Ask the brake professionals about other brake pad upgrade options. Shop your O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Off.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard.
That ain't true.
That ain't true.
When they go low, we go high. He can go.
It's total absolute
Trump. I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
Profanity is often used to express anger, and I think it comes from an authentic place from my Democratic colleagues.
We were... Guys, Democrats are having a rough day. They're having a rough year. They're having a rough term. It's amazing. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday.
Hey, good to see you guys on a Friday. I felt like Friday was every day this week.
About cussing today.
Yeah, it is.
We're just going to, if the Democrats are doing it, we can too, right?
That's the way it works.
You want me to get fired.
You go first.
That's the way it works.
The YouTube live chat poll for today is cussing okay.
Love it.
Did you see what the options are? Why
I
don't you set the YouTube poll up for today?
Here we go. Is cussing okay? Number 1, yes, and I do. Number 2, yes, but I don't. Number 3, no, but I do. And number 4, no, and I don't.
Those are the holier than thou people.
I like these options.
Yeah. It's a little bit of something for everyone. If you were, it's funny, the lady who says, what does she say? I don't cuss a lot, but we have to, Trump. And then she's like, can't contain, like, I think she's nervous. She's the one that says that they have to F Trump.
Yeah. It's not a choice.
And I said, her kids are going to grow up and be like, Mom, that wasn't the right way to say that. I would be proud of her if I were her children for not doing it right, but also ashamed that she would be like, well, the consultants told me I have to say this, so I just do whatever they say. I have to have Trump.
Yeah, I mean, among
make sense.
all of the clips in that montage that we've played, that one almost is the worst because she clearly doesn't even want to be cussing, doesn't know how to cuss, and is choosing to do it anyway because somebody told her that's probably the way to go.
What do you make of the language? Is it? I don't think that most of them are posing. I think most of them are letting a guard down.
I'll tell you exactly what I think every time I hear it. they're out of options. They don't know what to do. And so what's the craziest thing we could do to try to get attention to this cause that we can't seem to get any traction on? Well, I'm going to yell the F word, as if nobody's heard that on the internet.
It's not a good look.
It's so stupid.
It sure does. Don't you want your party to attract people?
Yeah, and I want them to win arguments. This looks like losing.
When you see this lashing out behavior, it doesn't make me go, they look like fun. I'd like to partake in some of that. That's not it. So that's our question. I'm going to play some clips here from Tim Walz in a second, but we want you to go vote in this poll. And I really am curious. We might get into some more details, maybe, if you will, in our Ask Us Anything Next Question segment, which happens at 1:25. And you can go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote in this poll. People say to me, like, I always want to vote in the poll, but I don't know how to get there. It's really simple. You've got a phone, pull up the YouTube app. On the YouTube app, type in Annie Fry, F-R-E-Y. You'll see that we are broadcasting live. The channel is just Annie Fry. You can also go to youtube.com/@Annie Fry. And in every live broadcast that we do, there's a live chat which you can participate in. You can just kind of sit and watch what the conversation is. But we love to read your comments. It's a big part of what we do here on the show. And I think this will be an interesting one to get a peek behind the curtain of the Annie Fry Show audience when it comes to what kind of language do you use? Because, I mean, honestly, when we were growing up as Republicans, I would say I've been Republican or conservative my whole knowing life. Would you agree with that in your life, Ryan?
Yeah.
Were you ever?
No, I was pretty conservative.
Yeah. Brad?
I was less conservative when I was growing up, but...
You were? Was there a pointed part in your life where you're like, I've really seen the light here? Was it during a Wiggins America?
Yeah, no. It was. I don't know. I was young though. I was probably just into college. It was Bush and Iraq and all that other stuff. Right around there, I started really paying attention to what I was listening to. Up to that point, I was just kind of repeating whatever people were pouring into me at that point,
which I think is natural.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are kind of doing a little soul searching on their party right now. The Democrat Party is doing that, and they're cussing a lot about it. I would love to know your feedback. We'll get to your comments on this throughout the course of the show. Tim Walz, why is he so out there?
I don't know, but I think it's great.
This
is fantastic. This is a great development. That the guy who just lost the vice presidency is the leader of the resistance.
Who was kind of put on the shelf in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
Why? What does he want? Like, just tell us what you want. Just be straight up, because I don't get it.
I'm pretty sure he wants this. He wants crowds.
Is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them. And so...
When he's talking here about what the Democrat Party let Republicans define these issues, sir, with all due respect, the last 4 years have been the pinnacle of everything that the Barack Obama movement sewed into our country culturally. You went ham on the situation during Biden's years. You had been defined. You wanted to be able to define the issues in an election that was a repudiation of everything that your party stands for. They defined the issues, and you and your partner Kamala Harris had to bear the names on the ticket of what they had built or destroyed. It kind of depends on how you look at it. Tim Walz is out here saying, oh, the Republicans, he's basically saying, y'all are too stupid to understand the situation here, and we let the Republicans do their funny magic tricks to make people think that things were the way that they weren't. It's never, for the Democrats, for these progressives, it's never about shutting the hole in your face to listen to what the American people are screaming from the mountaintops. You lose 7 swing states, you lose the popular vote, you get your booty kicked in an election, and you think that it's because the Democrats didn't define themselves enough? Folks, you've been in Technicolor, flying your flags all over the place, planting signs in people's yards to shame Americans top down. Every issue that has a political bent to it, you have been all over shouting in people's faces, and they've been quiet for so long. Even issues that weren't political, you did everything you could to infiltrate all the nooks and crannies of every inch of our lives so that everything became political. And we're super tired of it. We want to live our lives. We want to raise our kids. We want to go eat where we want to eat. We want to work where we want to work. We want to succeed beyond our wildest imaginations. If we work really hard, we want opportunity. We don't want a babysitter in the government. We don't want somebody who's going to lord over us and make all of our decisions for us because they make better decisions about the shower heads we use in our shower, the things we cook our macaroni and cheese on the stove. We don't want it. Butt out. Get out of our lives, leave us be, and maybe turn around, look in the mirror, and focus on what you've been screwing up for so long. Enter Elon Musk and Doge, which I'm very excited. We're going to talk about that in the next segment. I wanted to be like, can I just play the whole Brett Baer, Elon Musk interview? Like, straight.
So good.
I have a quick message for Tim. Governor Walz.
Exactly. Show some respect.
I'm sorry.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Your whole party is just language police. If you go out there and your message is, well, we didn't control the language well enough, that's why we lost the election, I think you might still be on the losing path.
Zero substance, all political games. I was having a conversation with somebody a little bit earlier today, and they are dealing with some political thing that happened, and I'm not going to be specific, but it was an intra-party, like, I don't know what to do here. I said, listen, at the end of the day, politics, the word politics is usually a blanket that's put on top of people trying to feign integrity. Donald Trump came onto the scene and just did Donald Trump. Love him, hate him, whatever it is, he's Donald Trump. And you know that about him, which is why people are so just turned inside out over their hatred for him, because he doesn't play the political game that the Democrats can win at. The Democrats are over here pulling out every play in their playbook, every trick play in their playbook, making crap up as they go, and he is in a different zip code, playing a different game, and kicking butt and taking names while he's doing it. And the Democrats are just like standing there stomping their feet, complaining about everything, but there's nobody there to listen. They all realize Donald Trump is winning over here. We'd like to go see what that looks like. We're unfamiliar. We're seeing a lot of whining and moaning and bitching over here as the Democrats throw petulant little fits. Every time you turn around, they're yelling at someone, waving their finger in someone's face, dragging a key down the car of somebody who probably is a pretty big, green energy supporter. It's just, it's so, there's no other way to say it. Stupid. It's so stupid to see what the Democrats have made of themselves. And okay, yeah, that's fine right now, 2 months into the Donald Trump second term. If they get their act together, they're going to have to make the Republicans refine their message, continue to push the progress and the success that they've made in their second Trump term. And they're going to have to continue to show America that they are about Americans, not about American government. And you don't have to look hard at all to see Chuck Schumer on The View. Like that clip of him talking about, Americans are out there saying, I work hard for my money and I should be able to keep my dollar and I'm a small business owner and I built this myself. His whole point is that government will be protected with people like Chuck Schumer. And we're like, we know. We already knew that. Thanks for making it super clear. I really wish The View wouldn't have played the Oscar music to get him off the stage so it would be a nice, clean clip. But we know, Schumer, we understand, Senator, that your goal is to protect the bureaucracy that you've created that is not serving the American people, which is a perfect segue into the next segment to talk about what Elon Musk and the people on this Doge team, and listen, the amount of wealth that was accumulated sitting there in that room, talking to Brett Baer about what Doge is doing, people who are running billions and billions of dollar businesses who've all come together, set aside whatever it is that they were doing professionally. I'm sure they can afford to take a bit of a sabbatical. And their job is to update the American government function. And some of the stuff that they were saying is just so absolutely outrageous. If you haven't heard this, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to throw some videos up for you. You can join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, but you can also, of course, just listen to this Bret Baier interview with Elon Musk. It might even make you want to cuss, unless you're one of those no and I don't people, Brad.
We already know you, Brad.
Yeah, we already know.
We know how you're going to vote.
Yeah, we do.
Sure you do.
YouTube live chat poll. Is cussing okay? You got 4 options. Yes, it's okay, and I do cuss. Yes, but I don't cuss. No, it's not okay, but I do cuss. And no, it's not okay, and I absolutely don't do that, Brad says. Ryan, I can't wait to see which one you vote on.
I'm kind of an enigma, huh?
I know which one you should vote on. I'm just wondering how honest you'll be with the people.
I want to know.
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get to Elon Musk, Doge, and Bret Baier on the Annie Fry Show next.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing: not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how you could build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour Saturday mornings at 6 here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Hey guys, it's Mark Reardon. If you're struggling with low energy, performance issues, or weight gain, Game Day Men's Health has got you covered with testosterone therapy, ED treatments, and more in all of a relaxed man cave environment. At Game Day, you'll get a free testosterone test and consultation, all in just 1 hour. Game Day is the premier men's health clinic with locations in Chesterfield, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Glen Carbon, Illinois. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health.
Well, we always encourage you to leave comments, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook, mostly on YouTube. Here today, here on Friday, it is the 28th of March, and I wanted to highlight Rick's comment. He says, I voted all 3 times for Trump. This is the beginning of me realizing I'm a Republican. I started listening to 97.1 in January of this year, as in just a couple months ago. Never, ever thought I would listen to talk radio all day. So welcome, Rick. So whatever that comment is that you want to leave, that is the place to do it on YouTube. You find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. And one of the ways that we engage you is by asking you the YouTube live chat poll question of the day. Today's is cussing okay? Let us know.
Don't leave us, Rick. Don't let this change your mind.
Well, unless you're yes and I do, then, then let us know that too, Rick. Annie said something off mic that I won't repeat. 12:23. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Let's show our appreciation for local heroes. Mark Cox here. Nominate a first responder and their department could get lunch from Grill Master Tony's. I'll personally deliver it. Share their story at 971talk.com. Nominate them today.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. I shot the sheriff.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
All around my hometown, they're trying to track me down. They
say they want to bring me in guilty for the killing of a dead ET.
Get your questions in for Ask Us Anything. It's our next question segment at 1:25. We want you to join us there and participate. It's always a fun one for us to do. We love answering your questions. If you have anything you want to know about our lives, about our relationships here, about radio, about something political, if you want to dig deep, if I've always wanted to know, fill in the blank here, Annie Fry YouTube channel, come subscribe, leave a comment, and you got to subscribe for 5 minutes before you can comment, but that's just how I police the trolls. All right, I said I was going to get to the Elon Musk Doge interview on Bret Baier, and just a quick preface here. Brad, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Brian?
In clips.
Ryan's like, I saw
Well,
it.
I'm aware
I
that it
watched
exists.
it. It's in the Bret Baier. I've heard of that guy.
I read some of the transcripts.
I watched it on 2.0 speed, so I might have missed something.
I came home last night, had a baseball game to go watch for my son, a couple of baseball games. Got home, had to make some shirts, and somebody sent this to me, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just pop it on. It was a 30-minute interview, and I had to remind myself to keep working because I just was staring at my computer. Let's listen.
For you, what's the most astonishing thing you've found out in this process?
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually. For example, like the simple survey that was literally 10-question survey that you could do with SurveyMonkey, cost you about $10,000. The government was being charged almost $1 billion for that.
For just the survey?
$1 billion for a simple online survey. Do you like the national park? And then there appeared to be no feedback loop for what would be done with that survey. So the survey would just go into nothing. It was like insane.
So $1 billion for a survey to ask people, do you like the national park? He said that was just the contract that was signed, $1 billion to function this survey. He said you can do it on SurveyMonkey for $10,000, which to me is like, why are you paying $10,000?
I thought the same thing.
And then in addition to that, if I find $20 bill in my pocket, like from the laundry, it's not a great day. It's a great week.
Oh, yeah.
$20.
Coffee's on me, everybody.
Well, maybe $2.
Well, okay.
Total.
Yeah.
But listen, like, to think about, it's infuriating to me to think about the magnitude of zeros that I don't think, unless you guys are not telling me something, we can't even understand the kind of dollars that we're talking about here.
No, exactly. I'm so glad you said that because I try to make this point when I'm just having conversations with people. When we talk about $1 billion, can you even envision somebody coming to you and going, here, I'm going to give you $100 million. I don't even know what $100 million does.
Really, for the sake of the show, someone should do that.
Yeah, somebody should. We could try this, and it's just an experiment, and then we'll hang on to it and see how it goes over the next 10, 20 years, and just with interest. But $100 million. Consider $1 billion is $999 million that they just blow for nothing.
Because they can.
Because they can.
Because nobody looks. That's the outrageous part to me. Let's listen to another interview.
We're talking about elementary financial controls that are necessary for any company to function. So, like, if the federal government, if a commercial company operated the way the federal government does, then it would be immediately go bankrupt. It would be delisted. The officers would be arrested. And the changes we're putting in place will enable the federal government to pass an audit. It will enable taxpayers to know where the money is going and know that their hard-earned tax dollars are being spent well.
So when you're listening to Elon Musk explain what's going on, everybody on the left politically is pulling their hair out trying to say, like, people are losing their jobs. They're only firing World War II veterans. It's like the stupidest things you can possibly think of. And it's not true. It's not what's actually taking place. And when you poll the American people on the direction the country is going, why would you not look at America getting their financial house in order and think, this is the correct direction? Why would you not look at people who are looking, especially really, really smart people? I think the reason why I like this the most is because it's Elon Musk and non-government people, expert brainiacs, geniuses who are going into the systems to see what they can see, to the extent that the people who have created this monstrosity have created without including people like this because they don't want people nosing around in the business of big government.
These people, Elon Musk included, but everybody in this room, they're bottom line people. This is exactly who you want looking at your budget, especially when it's money that's been coerced from you, because that's the difference between government and private spending. You choose to go buy lunch wherever you want. The government tells you it's going to take your money whether you want it or not. So these are the people you want figuring out what the budget is and where the waste is.
I also really love, I don't know if some of these clips might get to that. I love Elon Musk's resolve when he's talking, Brad, where he's like, we know that we're going to get blowback. We know people, but they don't care. Because they are principled in the actual goal here, which is a patriotic responsibility that they have because they have the know-how, they now have the access to get America back in a place where it's not going to become insolvent and bankrupt.
Right. There, not only is there a resolve, but there's also like an indignation to the wrongs that are being done in this. It's not just fraud. People are being ripped off. Real people are being ripped off, not just, quote unquote, the American taxpayer.
Yeah, that's a good segue. Let's
I'll
listen
say
to this one.
The two improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protect them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%?
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's Social Security is what happens. Is they call in, they say they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the Social Security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day. And then somebody doesn't receive their Social Security. It's because of all the fraud loopholes in the Social Security system.
So when you're listening to him say that someone's out there trying to yoink your Social Security benefits, if you were the Democrats, what you would do is you would find one, maybe two, so you could pluralize it. 2 veterans who had been affected by the theft of Social Security here. And then you would say, you know, if you were advocating for what Elon Musk was doing, you'd be like, they're stealing from veterans. Because veterans exist as a cross-section in our country. Veterans are highly, highly disrespected after they serve in our country. And what the priority order of which we just barf taxpayer dollars all over every possible problem that we can manifest into existence. Veterans are not in the hierarchy where they should be. They should pretty much, I'm trying to, the infirmed, the disabled, people who are born into a lot in life that is not the same without the same opportunities as everyone else, but veterans, right up at the top. Are there veterans who are losing out on their benefits because we don't have implications and indications in our systems to rip that fraud out? And if you're taking 40% of your calls and wasting your time on fraud, isn't there a way that we can fix that? And they're just identifying these things. Like, what is the long-term benefit of each of these things that he's weeding out?
This is the epitome of bureaucracy because they know it's a problem. I'm sure
for the sake of bureaucracy.
Yes, and he's talked to a lot of people and in past interviews has said, look, there are people at these agencies, not just Social Security, who've known about these problems for a long time, but then they take it to their superior, who takes it to their superior, who takes it to their superior, and there's layers and layers and layers. Mm-hmm. And then finally it gets to somewhere where somebody would make a decision and they go, oh yeah, well, let me put that on my desk and then I'll get to that. And nothing ever gets done. That's like the bureaucracy from the movies that everybody knows is happening and nothing happens.
Here's another one. Let's listen in.
Over $300 million of Small Business Administration loans that has been given out to people under the age of 11.
Well, actually, to add to it, it's $300 million under the age of 11 and over $300 million to over the age of 120.
Definitely.
Small business loans.
Correct.
Yes. The oldest American is 114. So it's safe to say if their age is 115 or above, they're fake. Or they should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. And we should not be giving out loans to babies. So the youngest recipient of a Small Business Administration loan is a 9-month-old, which is a very, very precocious baby we're talking about here. So obviously it was just fraudulent. And they do terrible things. They actually will see that a kid's been born. They will steal that kid's social security number and then take out a loan and leave that kid with a bad credit rating. There's literally a baby. The terrible things are being done is what we're saying.
Are we going to turn on to Fox News and see the Democrats that are represented there every day be like, you shouldn't be touching Social Security?
Yeah. Yes, we will. That's what they will say. They'll say something like, well, these people are trying to mess with your Social Security. They won't get into any of these details. And this should be so bipartisan because we have now one party of people who are taking issues of the country and a government very, very seriously. And you have another group, another party, that is just not. They're not taking these things seriously at all.
Well, what's crazy about it is the reason, because like everybody will get up there and say, well, yeah, I'm totally against fraud. There's people in our chat that are on the left side. They're like, oh, yeah, we're totally against fraud. But the only reason the Democrats are opposing it is because Donald Trump is doing it. It's not for any other reason than political reasons. And then like, why do we have to politicize this? You are the one politicizing it. It is your party that is saying, hey, no, we can't do this because they're going to cut your Social Security and get everybody all riled up and scared about it. And there's no reason to be scared about it. They're actually going in there. I'll tell you a real story. My in-laws actually got back Social Security pay. Social Security went through and found that they owed them money and wrote them a check for everything that they had missed going back. So they are making it more efficient. They aren't actually cutting. Yeah, this was in the past 2-3 weeks.
I have relatives who the same thing has happened to. They've gotten more in Social Security because they found out that things weren't accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to be absolutely 100% certain that that's a Trump, Elon Musk, Doge thing?
No. I don't know exactly why. Yeah, I just know that they got more.
Was yours since Trump was elected?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious if anyone listening here has experienced that as well. Hit us up on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat. That's like a story.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's common. Here's the last clip we have for you from the Brett Baer Elon Musk interview, and we're talking about the consequences of what the Democrats are trying to do. The Democrats are not trying to advocate policy. Name a policy right now that the Trump administration is putting in place that they have said, don't do this, you should do that.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Say it again.
A policy that the Trump administration has come in and implemented. Name me a Democrat and a policy where the Democrat has come out and said, we shouldn't do it that way. We should do it this way.
I hear a lot of criticism. I don't hear answers. I don't see solutions to you're doing it wrong, do it this way instead.
The closest I can come up with is on the Department of Education, and they're like, don't cut the Department of Education, give them more money.
That's not a policy, though.
No.
I don't think
it's
the
happening. Majority of what I hear, too, from the Department of Education thing is just like scare tactics about all of the things that, the number one thing that you're going to hear when people talk about the Department of Education being dismantled is that special needs kids are not going to get the assistance that they need anymore. And that's not true. All of the things that the Department of Education oversee, they're going to other agencies that can be thoughtful about managing this. I think it makes a lot of sense to see Health and Human Services and RFK Jr. overseeing school lunches and school breakfasts. I think it makes a lot of sense for, Kelly Loeffler with the Small Business Association, is that what it is, to oversee student loans. You're doing these things already. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing of what the Department of Education is doing at the federal level is directly connected to the actual education of children. So the Department of Education, which was created by an executive order from Jimmy Carter as a hand clap to the teachers' unions that helped him get elected, he signed it into existence through an executive order, and then, of course, Congress codified it. Just going to have to, Uno reverse that sucker and take it down with an executive order that is then codified by a Congress that is behind President Trump and what he's trying to do.
It is like it's drinking from a fire hose right now, because every department head, this is a great interview that Elon Musk did. I think I probably ended up watching basically the whole thing in clips.
It was great.
But every agency is going through this. It's not just Social Security. You just said Health and Human Services. RFK's been out there talking about some really strange problems. That bureaucracy is so big that they fight each other internally. And he's like, we got to end this stuff. Lee Zeldin is out there talking about all these different things. I mean, it is across the board, the amount of waste and cronyism, because it's not just waste. It's not accidental. Some of it's deliberate. And it just keeps going no matter where you look.
I mean, you have been called a Nazi, a white supremacist, a fascist.
I mean, they've got the sort of their
just to
normal
name
playbook.
a few. Yeah.
I mean, they've still got it. They haven't. I guess they still need to call me Stalin, Mussolini, whatever, Genghis Khan, or whatever. I mean, they've called the president all these things. I think at one point there was a magazine cover which said President Trump was worse than Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin combined. And the president hasn't killed anyone. He hasn't started any wars. In fact, he's good at stopping wars. So this is obviously they're pushing these lies. And why do they push these lies? And I think that we need to hold people responsible for pushing these lies, because those lies almost got the president killed.
That's not a lie. That's not at all a stretch of the truth. It's really important to me, at least, and I think this is a healthy exercise to remember that there are deceivers and there are the deceived. The deceivers, in many cases, are too far gone. The people who understand that they have to lie, manipulate, and contort facts in order to prey upon people who, I'm going to just say it, are more emotionally driven than they are interested, because they have busy lives, they have families, they have jobs, they have bills to pay, they are hustling their tails off. And you have somebody who comes in and taps on those emotions, tries to create some sort of political calamity out of something that doesn't even exist. It's a manifestation of outrage surrounding things that aren't even in fact actually real. I mean, it's very, very clear. We see it every day. It's very, very clear. When you have somebody from the activist progressive left seize on something, it is a seizure of a moment where they start coming in and they're throwing papers all over the place and pounding their fist on the table and, in lieu of the poll question today, cussing up a fit. Because why? Outrage! We have rage. Everybody needs to see the rage. Rage here, rage there, rage everywhere. You should be raging too. And like when you see that, you kind of go, whoa. They're really fighting mad. What's going on? You see the outrage, you see the emotion, you're inclined as a human to go, what's going on here? Is somebody in trouble? Does somebody need help? They want to stop feeding the children. Why? What are you talking about? My kid goes to school. He still gets free lunch and free breakfast. What are you talking about? If they dismantle the Department of Education, free lunches go away. And then that's kind of it. And they're relying on that, which is why it's taken this many years of hope and change and fundamental transformation of the United States of America to try to get, what would you call them? Low information voters who have true, honest, compassionate feelings in their heart and in their soul. And they've been told that you need to behave a certain way. And by behave, I mean vote a certain way. Because you're a compassionate person. You love your neighbor. You don't hate people. It's really simple. You just need to do this to prove it. And so many low information when it comes to politics people have gone, well, I can do that. That's something that I can do. And then they realized that those problems didn't get fixed. They got worse. People got more divided. People got more hateful. Families would separate over these political issues. And then you do that for 10 years, you do that for 15 years, and you really see how the manifestations of outrage were really deceit, by people who sit in boardrooms calculating how they're going to deceive you. And you know what? That pisses people off. That makes them mad. And they're not going to trust the Democrat Party anymore. And that makes the Democrat Party mad. So mad that they're going to cuss up a storm because the outrage that they used to feign, it's not enough anymore. Say the 4-letter words. Say them loud. Say them often. Say the same ones. And then people are like, I just don't even want to be associated with that anymore because people have wised up. Why? Because you wrecked it to pieces. You went into people's lives, you managed them, and you wrecked them to pieces. And they're not going to forget about that. The greatest thing I think that Donald Trump has done has changed the young generation into thinking how lame and pathetic big government progressivism actually is. If the college university system apparatus falls, if the education system, the way the Democrats have very, very intelligently and calculatively set up the education system to create these little mini protesters, these little mini activists, when they go from classroom to classroom to classroom over the course of education, it's all starting to crumble. It's falling apart in front of their eyes, and they're trying to grab it, but they can't reach it anymore. It's out of reach, and it makes them mad. It makes me happy. What my kids are going to grow up in is the course of history is changed because the American people were not as dumb as the Democrats needed them to be. And it took a while, but they woke up. And I'm not going to say that every Republican policy that's out there right now is what Democrats are going, I'm not going to do the Democrat Party thing anymore. Those Republicans have it all right. But they gave government back to the people. And Elon Musk is living proof of that. And those people sitting in that interview are living proof of that. It is so morning in America once again. And I remember that. I remember Ronald Reagan, it's morning in America again. And I don't remember the whole scene, but I feel like there was maybe a grass field with some wildflowers and some like toast popping out of a toaster and some steaming coffee.
I think that just sounds like a breakfast commercial.
Sounds nice.
I can go for some breakfast, I guess.
Morning.
Yeah.
That was a phrase that we knew and we heard growing up, but it's a reality right now, and it looks really, really good.
It's a good place to be. I just hate that we've had to get jaded to the point that we can't trust anybody.
I love the sarcastic side of the line.
I do too, but it's only because we've had to get there. You know, the emotional people, those are my people. I love emotional people. And
emotion over intellect.
The fact that
people.
The fact that they've had to look at everything with squinted eyes now. It's kind of sad, but that's where we are.
I don't think it's sad. I think it's exciting. All right, let's take a quick break. Be or not to be next. You good?
Yeah.
All right, don't go away.
Sheriff John Brown always hated me for what I don't know.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
And every time that I plant a seed, he said, kill it before it grows. He said, kill it before it grows.
Stuart's American Mortgage, bagel loan. I just paid my mortgage today. Always paying it on the payday before the first of the month. And every single time I go to pay my mortgage, it's not like, oh, yeah, I get to hand over this big chunk of change. I'm so grateful that I lowered my rate with Stewie when the rates were super low. I'm really excited that I was smart enough to take my own advice, that my husband encouraged us to do this. Listening to what the bagel loan is with Stewie, the refinance was a brilliant thing to do with the bagel loan at Stuart's American Mortgage. Why? Because refinancing your mortgage, getting a lower rate, locking it in, that makes a ton of sense. But if you have to pay a boatload of money in order to do it, you kind of negate the process, right? That's not the case with the bagel loan, which is only at Stuart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan to find out how you can refinance your mortgage or get a new mortgage with $0 in closing costs. NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. I depend on them for eye care, and they have an announcement. They're pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon, and he has the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field. So what do we call them now? The doctors? No, just the best doctors to see for your best vision. In St. Louis, you can reach them at 314-966-5000. They've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any others in the practice. Now, if you need help with dry eye, LASIK surgery, maybe you have glaucoma, macular degeneration. I had an eye disease when I was just 25 years old, so my eyes are very important to me. You get the absolute best care with the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, and now Dr. Samuel Berry. 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com. They have a great location just off Manchester Road, a half-mile west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Prices are going up in 2025 on HVAC equipment. Save now with 2024 pricing on a new system today. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com/new.
97.1 FM Talk is proudly supporting the Guns N' Hoses Queen of Hearts raffle, benefiting the St. Louis Backstoppers. Learn more at stlgunsandhoses.com and listen to the Mark Cox Morning Show Fridays at 8:20 for winner announcements. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. Got my mind set on you. But it's gonna take money.
Wiggins!
The Bee or Not the Bee.
Beautiful.
Ethan in the house. When's the last time you sat in here for a bee or not the bee?
Forgot what this chair felt like.
No, we missed you.
It's a little bit lower than it used to be.
Missing some foam, too.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did you take it out?
Yeah.
He keeps it in his back pocket. Can't
It
you
has
tell?
been a minute since
I
I've
just put
been
it
here
in my
for...
rump. So I can sit in any chair.
Well, that's what... Never mind.
You know, they say that Brian Kilmeade is the hardest working man in radio.
That's what they say.
They always say that. I think Ethan is.
I do, too.
Ethan might have him trumped.
Yeah, nationally speaking.
Yeah, I checked everybody.
Thank you for adding that. I appreciate
People
that.
are starting to say it in Pittsburgh, for instance. Other cities.
Do you remember being...
Other cities.
Do you remember being his age? I don't know, maybe you guys didn't do this, but like we just worked as much as we could. We had as many jobs as you could fit in the day.
Yeah.
And still $0.
Yes.
How did that happen?
It all sets you up for later. Now we're reaping the benefits of what we've sown.
It still feels like I have $0.
Well, okay.
It's frustrating how you think about, like, if you go back to when you were 20, that's like that's half of our life. If you go back and think about making the money you make now, making it back then, like what that would have meant to you. But now I got all these. Today's all about. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't cuss all day. These darn kids. Just
don't cuss
suck
there.
you dry. Yeah.
Of all the places to cuss, not there.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
They're the source of my problem. I love them. Wouldn't trade them.
I do remember having. It's odd because you made less money, but you also. We would just go out to eat all the time and stuff because we had time. We had the ability to spend that money on things.
Yeah, well, we were it was a couple days ago we were talking about, I think, Marvel movies. Like, you watched the Marvel movies? You're like, I tried to. I was like, I watched a couple last night. And you're like, I don't get to do that.
I don't do that ever.
A couple movies.
Yeah, we got done at 9:30 last night, so I just crashed and woke up and came here.
Not the bee. That's life. You just do it again today.
Exactly. All right, these are headlines that you'll have to tell me whether they are satire or real. The first one, Snow White, early favorite to dominate Oscars.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say real. That bullcrap sounds real. Man, bologna sausage.
There's no way.
Real.
I'm going to go with the B.
I'm going to lean Annie here. Real.
Real.
This is the B.
Ah.
Snow White was released to scathing reviews and fizzled at the box office, helping it pop up on the Academy's radar. The Academy has shied away from anything accessible, popular, or well-received, well-made, interesting, or generally well-liked in recent years, and has moved toward the obscure, unpopular, and poorly received. Quote, Snow White's reception has really overwhelmed us.
I thought you said this was the B.
I'm going to check showtimes for tonight and see if it's doing any better this week.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
Next one is British Prime Minister brags that UK will ban ninja swords to stop stabbings.
That is real.
Yeah, real.
This is real. Yes, the United Kingdom made a promise, and that promise was to ban ninja swords.
Did all the ninjas agree to comply?
We don't talk about the ninjas.
Seems pretty racist to me.
They are the ninjas are hidden all the time.
They're trying to tell them, but they can't find them.
Yeah, like hello, we know you're out there.
Here, ninja.
Oh, no.
And you just hear like some.
Oh, no.
And you never see anything.
Ryan, can we hear ninja?
Yeah. See?
I know you're here.
There's one over there somewhere. I saw the tree move a little bit. The article goes on to postulate, I guess samurai swords are still fine. It's very true. Just ninja swords. The other swords, that's all fine.
The 1:15 matinee at the Edwardsville AMC, 4 seats sold. And I don't believe this one seat. It's like the third row up on the aisle of a big, huge theater. Why are you sitting there?
Nobody's sitting there.
No.
Somebody bought that one out of protest.
That's Rachel Zegler.
That's my seat.
One of the stars of the film.
410 today, 0 seats.
Wow.
Nice. Wow, 410.
That's amazing.
That should be on a Friday. That's a matinee for a kids movie. That should have a few seats. All right, next one. Dork journalist just happy to be included in group text for once.
That's the B.
Oh, yeah, it is the B. Quote, here we go.
No!
He's done it again.
And this is where Brad goes, they're right next to each other.
It was the ninjas.
They are.
Quote, so this is what having friends feels like, said
Aw.
Jeffrey Goldberg, journalist and noted dork. Oh, man, my phone actually dinged. This is so cool. I've never belonged to anything
Underused word.
before. Agreed.
What, dork?
Yes.
Next one. I'll go this one. Some conspiracy theorists are claiming influencers are being paid by Big Soda.
Real.
Real.
Yeah, real.
You'll know that this is the B once I read the story. It says, fact check, Coca-Cola is delicious and refreshing with a unique taste and thirst-quenching delight in every drop. Make it the real thing. Make it a Coca-Cola. That's the B. Next one. Finally. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very
What's happening?
much. I think that was on purpose. I'm not sure.
Wasn't for me, just so you
Brad's
know.
just
Don't get
going
confused.
button crazy over there.
State Department officially classifies Los Angeles Dodgers as terrorist organization.
Real.
You're right. This is the
It
B.
should be real.
This is the B.
I saw yesterday and it made a whole lot of sense that they're got like 3 more wins than everybody else, or 2 more wins, I guess, and the 3 because they won yesterday. Everybody else has 1 win or 1 loss, except for the Cubs.
Yep.
And the Dodgers are just sitting there like, we just stock them in the winter.
Sources within the State Department cited recent developments, including the Dodgers' World Series victory and the free agent acquisitions during the ensuing offseason, that evidence that organizations' threat to peace and happiness in the U.S. had reached a far more dangerous level. Quote, organizations like this will be dealt with accordingly, Rubio said. It is our duty to protect the game of baseball and indeed America itself from the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes.
Big fan of that one. Last one. I'll sneak this in before we get to the top here. Rachel Zegler celebrates Snow White being #1 movie in the world.
I just counted up all the tickets sold for all of Friday today at the Edwardsville AMC. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got, let's see, I'm trying to count total showings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 showings. 7 showings total. 21 tickets on Friday night.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And this story is real.
Real.
The
'Cause
story
she's
is
a
real.
dork.
Yeah, she was technically right. It didn't have a whole lot of competition. It was the #1 last weekend, but it was way under projections.
I'm so happy. If it could fail more, I'd like to go give those 21 people their money back out of my pocket. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272 today.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The president's not backing down on tariffs. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. But he's sounding optimistic after his first call with Canada's new prime minister.
We had a very good conversation. Mark called me today at 10 o'clock. We put out a statement. We had a very, very good talk. He's going through an election now, and we'll see what happens.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, who said yesterday that the old relationship between the two countries was over, says he told the president today about Canada's plan for retaliatory tariffs, but they also agreed to negotiate a new economic and security agreement. President Trump's new reciprocal and auto tariffs are set to kick in next week. The president doubling down again on his suggestion that the U.S. should control Greenland, right now a Danish territory.
If you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. And we're not going to be able to do that. We're not relying on Denmark or anybody else to take care of that situation. And we're not talking about peace for the United States. We're talking about world peace. We're talking about international security.
Officials in Greenland and Denmark have pushed back on any talk of a takeover. Vice President Vance is in Greenland, just wrapping up a briefing on Arctic security at a U.S. Space Force base. The president speaking after a ceremony for Counselor Alina Habba to be sworn in as a U.S. attorney in New Jersey after representing him in some of his previous personal legal fights before winning a second term.
And I want to thank you for doing it. You took a lot of abuse.
Habba says she's been on the journey of a lifetime.
As a person who's a first-generation American with parents that came in legally, I would like to say that I do not ever take for granted that every dream that I ever could have imagined I have surpassed because of this administration, because of President Trump.
Habba pledging to make New Jersey great again just before the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi administered the oath. America is listening to Fox News.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month.
Definitely a very smart move.
Get both and watch Star Wars Andor Season 2 and Mufasa the Lion King on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of stories with all of us.
On Hulu, it's the new season of The Handmaid's Tale and A Complete Unknown.
Give a warm welcome to Bob Dylan.
Don't miss your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month for 4 months. New and returning subscribers, 18 plus only. After 4 months, plan auto renews at $10.99 a month until canceled. Offer ends 3/30/25. Terms apply.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Mostly sunny skies. It's windy and it's warm as we go through our Friday afternoon, 80 for the high. Tonight, the clouds take over 60. Saturday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, but let's expect some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, 75 and windy. Sunday, best chance for some rain, periods of rain, and some thunderstorms around, 75, colder for a day on Monday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate, paid for by Bayer.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid with no cost to you, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis and they get paid instantly. This is 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly. Freedom Care has over 7,000 5-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's free to you through Medicaid, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-597-1749, 314-597-1749, 314-597-1749.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The History of the Lou with Sue.
For a fascinating journey through the storied past of St. Louis. Don't miss out on discovering remarkable tales that make our city such a unique place.
The History of the Lou with Sue.
Sundays at 6 p.m.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Can't you kind of temper? Can't you figure out what your mood is? Like how willing you are? Like, yeah, let's watch a little bit of The View. Let's watch a highlight from The View. Can't you tell how good of a mood you're in if you're like, I think I could take that right now?
I understand what you're saying, but no. I don't think that's the right gauge because you could be in a terrible mood and think, well, this will cheer me up.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever take pleasure or pride in being able to watch The View and go, look at these people?
Well, it's that momentary pleasure. You watch it, you laugh, and then you just kind of feel bad in general. So I guess it depends on how you view it.
Well,
The View.
With patience, I would say. I have mostly enjoyed the clips. It's just kind of in the vein of our YouTube poll today. Is cussing okay? Yes, and I do. Yes, but I don't. No, but I do. And no, and I don't. I gotta get the results of here. I gotta see how y'all are voting here. Get to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, and in the live chat portion of today's poll, you can weigh in and let us know what you think. Oh, good, it's divided. That makes me so happy. I want to play this little clip here from The View, and if the FCC didn't regulate what they said on this is network TV, right? Does that matter? It matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, it matters.
It's not cable. Can't you say whatever you want on cable? Are there what are those hours called?
Past a certain hour, past 10 o'clock, you can kind of do whatever you want at this point. It's weird because the regulations, they're really inconsistent. They're kind of all over the place. But if you have an over-the-air broadcast, which ABC does, it's regulated more heavily.
Because as we've been talking this week, those publicly owned and operated airwaves, you have to protect them. And I think that's a smart. That's why we can't say all those 4-letter words on this show. So let's listen in here. Listen to
You chose not to go through the proper protocol.
Yeah, right.
And everybody could have seen this. Yeah. This is not the App Store kind of stuff you want to be using.
They also have a tendency to blame the Biden administration. Yeah. It's like, move on. That ship has sailed. I never remember in my lifetime a sitting president trashing a previous president.
What? What? I'm 40. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not as old as that hag. But that's all that the presidents, all of them do that.
Now they do.
That's the entire 40 years of my life, 4 decades of presidents who fix things and brag about how great they are and trash the prior administration left and right the whole time.
Joe Biden did it so much that they called it Voldemort because he would always say, well, the person who was before me who I cannot name. He would do it all the time.
The other guy. Yeah. Go search on X, TOG. Abbreviation for the other guy. That's how they would refer to him. His whole administration was about all of the terrible things that he inherited and the great things he's been doing to try to fix them. And I'm not going to sit here and say that that's not, I mean, Donald Trump doesn't pass up an opportunity to talk about how horrible the Biden administration was, or prior to that, how bad the Obama administration was. But he also would pull in some Republican presidents and politicians at the same time. That's all that they do. Jill, what's her name? Joy Behar can't remember a time in her life.
In my lifetime, a sitting president trashing a previous president.
Well, Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Listen. I'll even do it twice. Not only did he not do it twice, he did it once and he dropped out of the race. He was toast. He was kaput.
You just made me more sad because I realized promises made, promises kept would have been that we got another debate out of Joe Biden. And I wanted to see that after that first one.
He lied.
Yes, he did.
You know, I was in that World War I cemetery.
I thought he was going to say he was in World War I.
And
not a joke.
One that one of our colleagues, the former president, didn't want to go and be up there. When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said.
That's blasphemy.
It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up. That Trump, when in Europe, would not go to the grave sites in France.
He doesn't even know the lie. He's not even locked in on the lie. And you know why? Because you have to memorize those.
Yeah, it's not just fact.
The brave service members who gave their lives to this country, he called them suckers and losers. Who in the hell does he think he is? Who does he think he is?
The president.
And the then president was asked, what do you think? He said, they're very fine people on both sides.
Lie.
Not fine people on both sides.
Lie.
No excuse. Zero. And I know Americans want a president, not a dictator. No self-respecting American president would ever be Putin's puppy like this guy is. That's what he is.
Sounds kind of cute.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
I've never heard that before. You never heard, Ronald Reagan didn't do it. They're St.
But it's
Ronald.
the common enemy. It's what drives their base together is the other.
Yeah.
So they do that to create.
Yeah. And I got to say, You know, stop treating your base like they're dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
They know better.
We'll be right back.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
Liar! Liar!
Stop treating your base like they're dumb. You know, losers and suckers. I just pulled up that
Suckers
article
and losers, get it right.
back from it's the way it's written is Trump.
Losers and suckers?
Americans who died in war are losers and suckers.
Who would even put that out there?
Who would write that?
It's such a lie. Why would somebody fabricate that? What kind of dork, word of the day, 4-letter word of the day, would use that kind of language and just manifest in something to try to lie and deceive the American people into thinking Donald Trump said something he wasn't? Why would you do that? Who would do that?
Let me read until I get to the byline. The president has repeatedly disparaged the intelligence of service members and asked that wounded veterans be kept out of military parades. Multiple sources tell The Atlantic by Jeffrey Goldberg.
What?
What? Wait a minute. But nobody would go on record, and then everybody who was on record said it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Your
remember.
Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
I'm glad that so many on the left are like, well, I want to see the receipts. We've been seeing that in the chat today. We talk about Elon Musk. Well, I just want to see the receipts. Okay.
Oh, man. I don't care about the Signal story anymore.
I forgot about it until you just said it.
I don't care about it. I'm going to find out what happened. We'll get to that when that news breaks. Back to winning. I declare.
Okay, making a turn here.
Can you make an official declaration from Ryan Shire Wigglesworth?
Sure. I declare it's time for this thing now.
Not your best.
No?
Not your best. We're going to do next question in the next segment. We want your questions. It's like Ask Us Anything. We will go through whatever you want to throw at us. We will try to get through as many questions as possible. Yesterday, we did a version of Ask Us Anything, and this is something that we're going to try to do. It kind of depends on how much feedback we get from y'all. And so I'm going to put something up on our Facebook page to solicit your questions specifically when it comes to the sexes. What are some things that boys don't understand at all about? Well, like you've never pulled the curtain back on that. It doesn't have to be weird. It could be weird as long as it's at best PG-13, but maybe a little bit cleaner than that. We will have that discussion. Yesterday, you asked me 2 questions. How do women look at, evaluate, or judge other women based on the amount of makeup that they wear? Like if you see someone who's not putting on any makeup versus somebody who's wearing a ton of makeup, like what is the woman-to-woman reaction to that? And the second one you asked me is what it was like to lose your last name, which I thought was a great question. And I've thought about that multiple times since then, because the Democrats are saying that Donald Trump is trying to make voting hard specifically for women, because when you have to prove your citizenship and women have to change their names, that if their documents don't match, they would be disenfranchised to vote. And I thought, well, this is an overgeneralized statement, but the left are less inclined to change their name than the right, I would think.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way I could say that.
I would think so. Yeah. Why?
So, I mean, I feel like it would, I'll tell you off here.
Okay.
I feel like at the most, this would be something that is pro-Democrat.
Okay.
It's when you hear people, because I had to dig into this. Women, the Donald Trump administration is out to keep women from voting. And the whole thing is based on the fact that the proof of identification could possibly mean that if you got married and you haven't yet changed your name on your license and you show your license and it doesn't match the voter rolls, or if you change your name on your license and it's not yet changed on your voter card, that you might be disenfranchised.
I follow you.
Seems like there's a really easy way to suggest that any of your legal names should be listed on your voter card.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm of the opinion that anything that could potentially ever disenfranchise anyone at any point should stop us from cleaning up the voter rolls. Because, voter integrity should be second to the possible down the road indication that there might be disenfranchisement at some point.
What? I was reading comments.
Me too.
Well, and then I asked the boys in here what it's like to stand next to someone with everything out for the world to see while you're peeing. And then someone told me you're supposed to compliment the person's next to you's watch. And I thought, well, that seems even weirder. I didn't know that.
It is weird. And again, I'm not wearing a watch, sir.
So I went to the bathroom yesterday and we were in the stalls and I was like, hey, that's a nice watch.
Really? Standing up?
No. That's outrageous. So we were trying.
My fault for being outrageous.
We were trying to figure out if this is a segment we would like to do with some frequency, like maybe once a month or something like that. And we would cultivate the questions that if you could ask the opposite sex a question about anything like that, what kind of questions would you really like to know the answers to? And I said, guys, I think this is a really good segment idea. I think we should try to produce it. We should try to make it something official, but we need a fun name. And Ryan, you came up with
X's and Y's.
So I think that's what we're going with.
There's so many puns.
It's multi-layered.
Yeah, it's great. It could go so many directions.
X's and Y's?
Exactly.
Will you make that happen? You make the intro and stuff, and we can do it.
Oh, okay.
As long as we don't put the button next to
be
or not
gosh.
the be.
It'll just sound like be or not to be, just so you know.
We'll just
At
transition.
the end, it'll go X's and Y's.
There you go. We're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do next question. So any of your Ask Us Anything questions that you'd like to submit to the show, we'd love to have them. Throw them in the YouTube chat. Come say hi and subscribe. We have got, we've got 11,600 and something subscribers. I've got it open here somewhere. I need to pull it up. 11, uh-oh.
What just happened?
We have 11,666 subscribers.
Oh, no.
Repent. Recant.
Just don't put the number of subscribers on your hand or forehead.
Okay.
Quick, somebody subscribe.
I promise. This is where we're like, somebody break the 666 and then a flood of people come and unsubscribe quickly. Don't do that. We need some new subscribers. We need to get to 12,000. We'd love to have you come join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and make this number go away. Next question, next segment when we come back.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I am the place that boasts the oldest bridge on the Mississippi. When self-taught engineer James B. Eads shared his plans for a bridge over the Mississippi at St. Louis, his peers called it completely unsafe and utterly impractical. Today, that same bridge is considered an engineering marvel and a symbol of St. Louis's rich history and promising future. And it stood safely and solidly since 1874. St. Louis is more fascinating than you realize, and the Missouri Historical Society is giving it a proper introduction. We are stlewis.com.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Do you ever wonder if you've saved enough to retire? Discover how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. Hey guys, it's Dave Glover here. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience, and they're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You'll learn about reducing your taxes, maximizing your Social Security, paying for health care, and more. There's no cost. We would ask that you bring 3 canned goods that we're going to pass on to the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. So you have 2 jobs when it comes to retirement, in my humble opinion. One is saving the money, putting it away. And then the other, just as important, is how do you take it out and what do you do with it after that? Find out at Retirement Planning 101. Simply call 314-350-8110. Again, no money necessary. 314-350-8110. 350-8110.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. Victim of a car accident? Not choosing the best lawyer will cost you. But here's the good news. Since you don't pay unless we win, you can afford the very best. Kaufman Townsley. Call 314-500-5000.
If you're a homeowner, it's time to upgrade your windows with Window World. Mark Cox here. I am a satisfied customer. I love the windows they put in my house, and there's a reason they're ranked number one in the number of windows sold in this country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They have that lifetime warranty. It covers all the parts, the glass breakage, the labor. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And in over 20 years in business, they have improved the look and the thermal efficiency of over 76,000 customers in the greater St. Louis area. Window World is now offering 36 months, same as cash financing, with approved credit. And I think the customer service sets them apart from the rest of their competition. And they have an excellent track record with the Better Business Bureau. They've also raised a lot of money, over $3 million for local and national charities. So be sure and check them out. Call them at 314-993-1800. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. You can also go to windowworld.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, come see us for another Fish Fry Friday broadcast. We're at Queen of All Saints in South County. George Gray from The Price is Right will play The Price is Wrong in the 5 o'clock hour.
The Mark Reardon Show, weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Okay, so this is our next question segment, and we are going to ask each other questions. But I'm going to start before we get to it and ask you the question that we have on our YouTube live chat poll, and it's pretty straightforward. Is cussing okay? We want to know from you because the Democrats are doing a lot of it right now, and I know that especially generationally, there is a huge shift in opinion on cussing and all of that. So you've got 4 options on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 12,000 subscribers. We need 332 subscribers to get to 12,000. So a little bit of a march there, but we'd love to have you. If you haven't joined us on YouTube yet, Annie Fry, F-R-E-Y. But the YouTube poll is cussing okay? Yes, and I do. Yes, but I don't. No, but I do. And no, and I don't. Let us know what you think.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
All right, let's go around the room and answer the YouTube live chat poll for ourselves. Is cussing okay? My answer, very sadly, is no, it's not okay, but I do.
Okay. I would have thought maybe you said yes, and I do.
That's so rude. Why do you think that?
But okay. Well, you know what? You don't really cuss around me, though, because we're in a studio. And
I do when you leave the room.
I figured, yeah. Mm-hmm. That Razafrazin Wiggins.
Musty
you say
moo-moo.
things like that. Yeah, musty moo-moo. And I'm like, Razafrazin, man, that is offensive.
No, I do. I'm not proud of that. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Your answer?
My answer is really caught between two. No, but I don't, and no, but I do.
I think that's a no, but I do.
Because I don't really cuss, but...
Okay, Ethan?
But it's like...
Ethan? Shush. Go, Ethan.
I can recall a couple of situations where you've cursed in front of me.
And it was at you.
Calling me a sick piece of something. And then the next week calling me...
Because you were like dying out there.
The next week calling me a healthy piece of something.
But it stood out. Why? Because I don't do it very much.
Oh, no, it does.
Because I don't. Because
Totally.
I use it just for extreme punctuation. It's like paprika.
That almost
You're
makes
gonna
me
eat a
feel like
dish, great.
that almost feels like your answer should be yes, and I do, because you're justifying it when you do it.
I am justifying it. Yeah,
So
I
you're
don't do it very
you're
often.
just a heathen.
But when I do, it's very pointed.
So you're a yes, and I do.
What the hell is wrong with
Oh
you?
no, I'm not
We
saying
don't have
it's
that much
good.
time, Ethan.
I'm saying no, and I do. I guess, but it's very infrequent. It's very infrequent, but I guess I do. At times, like my whole novel has one cuss word in it.
So what you've surmised here is that you do cuss rarely, but you do, and when you do, it's okay.
No, I didn't say it was okay.
You
I
kind of
said
did.
there's a reason for it, but it doesn't make it okay.
So you're saying there's an explanation, but not an excuse.
Yes.
No, but I do then, which is what I said. Ethan,
I am not okay with cursing, but I
have
do
to
curse.
respond to Ryan Wiggins
But
from time to
but
time.
I do curse. I do curse, unfortunately. It is something that I felt like it got really bad during early high school. And
Isn't it the first like real show of like I could do what I want?
I mean,
Heck
like,
yeah, it
I cursed.
Just like that Democrat
like-
congresswoman.
I mean, hell yeah, it is.
Ryan.
Sorry.
I cursed like a sailor during high school. It
Yeah?
was like
In front of
every
your
other
parents?
word. No. Oh my gosh, no.
What would happen if you would have cursed in front of your parents?
The first time I ever said a curse word in front of my dad, it was at a sporting event, and I think
Were you playing?
No, I was like, it was pregame, and he was the athletic director, so he was just around stuff, and I accidentally slipped, and he looked at me, he goes, "I hope you don't speak like that all the time," and I was like, I don't. I was like, I couldn't even look at him. It's terrible.
It's way worse. But then you did.
I did. I totally did.
Nothing
So not
like-
only did I curse, but I lied to my dad too.
Nothing like disappointed dad face.
Oh my gosh, it was
Very
awful.
effective, and that indicates to me that you have a very good dad.
Oh, he's the best. Love my dad to death. But I would say it's
He's
much.
the effing best.
It's it is better than it was in high school. It's something I'm constantly trying to keep myself accountable in and be better at. My wife does a pretty good job of keeping me accountable in it. She never curses, but yeah, I'm still not there yet.
Go on.
Kate on YouTube says Ryan is the Dos Equis guy of cussing. It's true. I don't cuss often, but when I do,
Dos Equis.
but when I do,
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
what
Stay
did I
thirsty.
say and what's
Stay
the right
thirsty,
way to
my
say it?
friends.
It's Dos Equis.
Who cares?
Two X's.
Now Brad's educating you on beer.
That's because I don't
Spanish,
do anything
but-
wrong.
Brad,
Stay explicit, my friends.
is cussing okay, Brad? Yes, you do. Yes, and you do. Yes, but you don't. No, but you do. No, and I don't. And remember, lying is a sin.
Yeah, I know. And like I want to say that like it doesn't bother me when other people do it, but I try not to do it myself. So I guess that means that no, but I do, but I try really hard not to.
If anybody was going to be able to say, no, it's not okay, and I don't do it, it's Brad.
Yeah. Poop brain, fart sucker.
Ryan.
All the words.
Ryan.
What about when you're working on a tractor? You
No,
ever
the
cuss?
tractor, not the tractor. No.
No, you don't cuss at the crops.
What's the thing? What?
Die.
What's the situation most likely to get you to say like a swear word that other people would be able to hear?
Oh. I would say traffic, but nobody's in the car with me.
I got one.
Ryan, Pete says, "Whoa, earmuffs."
Whoa, earmuffs, Pete. Yeah, sorry.
What did you say?
Little
Fart
ears.
sucker?
Poop smuggling fart sucker, maybe? I don't know. Something like that.
What were you saying?
I
What were
like
you
the
saying?
idea of smuggling poop.
I was gonna say mine.
I'm gonna get a letter, a handwritten letter from a lovely lady named Edith.
Like, I got to get
Poor
this from
Edith.
one point to another, but I can't let the authorities know.
Next question, Ryan. Get it back together.
Next question. Is it my turn? On that same, since we're talking vices, how often or have you ever gone to a casino and gambled?
I really want to.
I do too.
I really want to. I've been to casinos, but I don't know if I've ever actually done anything in one.
I can't believe you're saying that because I'm the same way. I've
No, I'd
been
really
in
like to.
casinos with groups, bachelor parties and stuff. I don't think I've ever actually gambled.
Really?
Yeah. Have you?
I went to Vegas a couple of spring breaks ago, with my wife's family, and that was the only time I've ever gambled.
I really want to play in a poker tournament.
Do you think you'd be pretty good at it?
I have no idea. I'm not bad at poker, but I've played online poker a lot.
Do you have
And
a face for it? Poker face.
This is shameful. How did we get here? I think the
sorry,
answer to your
crowd.
question is no about the poker face.
You'd always know when you were lying.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yes,
Brad,
I do have a full house. I promise. Wink, wink.
You would be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
You would be the worst. Can we play poker with real money?
No.
Oh.
Monopoly money?
No, I'm not playing with fake money. I want Ryan's real money. Brad?
I've never been in a casino. I don't think I've ever gambled either, but I've never been in a casino.
When I was 21, we made a trip down to Florida, me and a couple friends. We had just turned 21. And we stopped at every casino we could find and just went in. I don't think you could do this anymore. We just went in and had free sodas because they used to do that. Where, oh, yeah, we'll give you free drinks.
I bet they had names for people like you.
I'm sure they did. And they saw us coming a mile away. I mean, we looked like we were 12, walking in there like, yes, I will have your finest Dr. Pepper. Thank you. And then we'd leave. Like, that was it. It was such a 21-year-old thing to do.
Next question, Brad.
Well, let's go on along with the vices that Ryan kind of started here. Have you ever been high?
I have not. And when it became legal in Illinois, I looked at my husband like, can I give this a shot? And he just looked at me like he never knew me. He's like, who are you? What have you done with
He looked at you because you hadn't?
No. When it became legal in Illinois, I was like, can I try this? It's legal. It's not like a crime anymore. And my husband gave great judgment in his facial expression, so I haven't. Every once in a while I'm like, can I try it now? He's like, no.
Oh, please.
Oh. No, I do not need to get high and go to the casino. The chat is off its rocker.
Take an Uber at like 1 a.m. And
While I'm high? I'm pretty sure that's how I die.
And then come back and tell the story.
Mm-mm. You go first, Brad. I think, go ahead.
I just wanted to see what everybody else wanted to say first.
That's why we're making you go.
So
But I haven't.
I had friends that smoked a lot. While I never smoked, I would always be around them while they were.
Contact high?
And there's no way that, like, I remember looking back and going, why was I laughing so much at whatever? So there's no way that I didn't get a contact high from doing it, but I've never actually smoked a joint. Or
Man was high on
anything
life.
Like that.
I wonder if our audience, it's too late to do it right now, but I wonder if our audience, like, should Annie, like, I don't think I want to smoke anything, but like an edible. I have dear friends of mine who manage anxiety legally with edibles, and they swear by it. And they're people who they're very successful people. And I also know, and I don't think that everybody understands this as much as I've had my eyes open to it, the world of people who are living my life with different details, but very busy parents, jobs, everything. There is a lot of edibles going on. There are a lot of gummies. It is way more common than most people think. And I've never done it, but I think, like, I wonder what our audience thinks of that. My snap judgment is that our audience would be very, like, judgy about that. Like, don't do that. But I might be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's people in the chat right now saying next Friday we need to have edibles.
We're gonna get an edible. We're gonna get a weed shop sponsor out of this.
So that we all do it for the first time.
Sky High
I don't want
Fridays.
to listen. I'll tell you right now. I
Fridays
don't
have never
want
been
to
so
do edibles. I want to just come in and just bang into like the biggest bong.
What?
Like,
Ryan!
The gurgling,
5 feet tall.
gurgling sound on air.
How about a mask?
Yes.
One of the masks.
Here. I'm going to read Mike's comment, and I'm going to stick with Mike. Annie, if you have the Holy Spirit in you, you will despise it, and it will grieve the Spirit.
See?
What did you just say, Ryan?
I said taking a giant hit from a bong. But I was kidding, Mike. I was just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
The Annie Fried
unless
Show.
there was a sponsor.
Stop it.
I'm kidding again.
Unless
it's all
there's a
jokes.
sponsor.
We love joking.
Do you want to answer the question though?
It's probably similar to you, where I was around. I had a couple friends who I didn't end up becoming long-term friends with, but at the time I was hanging out with them a lot.
Was it because they were high all the time?
Yes, actually, it probably was.
The
They were
best
so
audience.
inconsistent. They were super. They would be like, "Oh, we're gonna do this," and then make plans and then not be there. And I cannot handle that. I'm like, no, you live by a schedule and your word is your bond, buddy. So if you don't show up, I'm not hanging out with you. So I didn't hang out with those people a lot, but they would smoke a lot of weed. And, man, their apartment.
You said they smoked a lot of weed and they were inconsistent?
Isn't that weird?
Shocker.
It's like I'm painting a weird backward picture here.
The one time that I was like, I actually asked him, I was like seriously about it, was when I, as kind of lore now with the show, I have had enormous trouble sleeping over the course of my life. I've actually, guess what, through diet and exercise and hydration, really been able to turn my sleep habits around. Also, my youngest child is 3 now. I don't have a baby at home, so it's a little bit different because of that. But I was just thinking about, somebody had suggested like Ambien or whatever, and I was saying to my husband, like, if I had the option between Ambien and a gummy to help me relax and fall asleep, to me, from a chemical standpoint, it's hard to advocate for the Ambien being 100% A-OK versus something that, in my mind, I'm thinking is naturally occurring, but still, I never did it, and I don't have any need for that. I don't need to take anything. I don't take any medications, so I take like vitamins and supplements, that type of stuff, but I don't need it, so I haven't really thought about it in a long time.
One more Vice question. Have
Well,
you
Ethan
ever
hasn't answered yet.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Thank you.
All right. Have you ever in the summer pretended to be walking by a pool and just being like, oh, what a nice day it is, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I fell into the pool?
You're high right now.
Because the Vice would be, you can't do that. I own that bit. It's copyrighted. I'd be walking around in my swimming trunks like, oh, I'm going to get a piece of cake. Oh, wait a minute. I fell in the pool.
This is what doing drugs looks like or sounds like to the audience.
It's such a solid bit. Everybody sits around the pool. They see somebody do that. They just
Are you saying
crack
there's
up.
no pool?
No, there is a pool. You just walk it, but you pretend like you're a distinguished gentleman walking along, that you're not aware that there's a pool, and then you keep walking, and then whoops, I fell in the pool.
You lost me, buddy.
It's such a good bit. And people just line up and they clap and they crack up when I do it.
My gosh. If you have other questions you want to ask the crowd and don't even know how we would go around, it's not even an actual question. What is the actual? Don't answer my question. That's not an actual question either. We're going to take a quick break. We'll check and see if you guys have more questions in the chat and get to more news of the day. YouTube live chat poll. Is cussing okay? Yes, and I do. Yes, but I don't. No, but I do. And no, and I don't. You got to let us know what you think. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are 3 options right here, right now, that are pretty close to each other. Get your thoughts weighed in right now. We'll be right back.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Civia Law, online at civialaw.com. Your estate planning, very, very, very good hands when you put it in the hands of Todd Civia and his team. With multiple offices in Missouri and Illinois, you are going to be cared for. The questions that you need to answer, you might not even know what they all are, but how could you possibly? And sometimes that's kind of intimidating to get into the process of planning this trust. You're like, gosh, I don't even know where to start. Well, what you do is you start with calling Todd Civia. It's really that simple. 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. Call Todd Civia and talk to him about what you're looking to do. You'll schedule your first strategy session. And, if you want to get this done and pretty much just get it over with, in 2 weeks from your strategy session, you can have completed documents in hand. It's Todd Civia with multiple offices across the area: Edwardsville, Wentzville, East Alton, Swansea, Mount Vernon. Your strategy session is a phone call away. Be sure to tell him that Annie sent you at 833-995-WILL. He'll even save you money when it comes to making sure that all of your assets are in a place that are going to be beneficial to you, not tax punitive. He's got you covered on all fronts. 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. CiviaLaw.com.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. Human trafficking is occurring right here in Missouri. You can help combat it by learning the signs of human trafficking and reporting suspicious activity to law enforcement. Victims may appear malnourished, show signs of mental or physical abuse, or avoid social interaction. If you're a victim or know someone who needs help, contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888 or text the word HELP to Be Free. Together, we can fight human trafficking in Missouri.
Brought to you by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Triton Exteriors. I think you have picked up by now that I am big fans of this company. I'm big fans of Tim, the owner. I just trust him. I think he does a great job at customer service. Also, I really want to push the James Hardy Smart Siding. So we just came through some really bad storms, as you know. Because of the way the Smart Siding is made, the way it's manufactured, the way it's installed, if you had James Hardy Smart Siding, you would not have had any damage to your siding. Just something to put in your equation as you make these decisions. If you did have some damage, or you're afraid you did, whether it's wind damage on your roof or hail, your regular siding, your gutters, your fences, you can't do better than reaching out to my friends. It's Triton Exteriors. Call 314-717-1159 or go online at triton-stl.com. You can absolutely trust these guys. They'll do a great job for you. 314-717-1159 for Triton Exteriors.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son Mike. In addition to the comp case, there is a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
Imagine this, a summer evening, relaxing under a beautiful porch overhang, hosting your friends on a composite deck, or enjoying a bug-free breeze in a screened room. That sounds dreamy, right? Hi, it's Kim, and that dream can be your reality with Lakeside Renovation and Design because they specialize in creating outdoor spaces that make your backyard the go-to spot for family and friends. And with their attention to detail and the high-quality materials they use, you'll have a space that lasts for years. Visit lakesideRD.com today to get started on your outdoor oasis.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for New Perspective Senior Living, where your loved one will enjoy chef-prepared meals, engaging activities, state-of-the-art technology, and a welcoming community that feels like home. Visit npseniorliving.com to schedule a tour today. New Perspective, where every day is a chance to live life on purpose.
Very simple question, but a lot to think about. Is cussing okay? That's the YouTube live chat poll of the day. Yes, and I do. Yes, but I don't. No, but I do. No, and I don't. Your 4 options for is cussing okay. We're discussing this all day. Come back at the end of the show, and we will give you the results, which I understand are rather interesting at this point. 1:47. The time check is brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk presents Talk in Action, where we shine a spotlight on local charities making a difference in our community. Join us as we give back and connect neighbors in need. Visit 971talk.com/talkinaction to learn more. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and And she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. One of the questions I was going to ask you guys is, do you have a go-to word if you're going to do it? Like you stub your toe. Do you say something bad?
Well, the answer for Brad is no.
He says, what do you say when you stub your toe?
Ow.
Dadgummit.
That's a lot to say.
No, I don't really have one. I don't genuinely cuss that much. I do it deliberately when I do it. So if it comes out, it's accidental.
I just say gah a lot because I'm around children and I'm trying hard not to say things like that in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you... I don't want to out our parents specifically. But it's like, if you're talking about being raised, don't you feel like our generation and the generation after looks at cuss words in a very different way than we were raised to?
Much more casually. Although, in a sense, I go back to my grandma on my mom's side, who's now deceased. She was born in the 1920s, and she was a farm girl.
Yeah?
And she would use the S word just casually, and it was fine. Like, it wasn't really a big deal because it was just like a farm thing.
Yeah.
And that was fine. So in that sense, you go back far enough and it becomes more casual.
Was like I was saying, I grew up on a farm, so there wasn't a lot of taboo around it, except for the F word. They didn't use the F word, but everything else was kind of fair game, and it was
The
used.
F word is next level. Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, it used to be. I hear it a lot now.
Here's a question. I'm around youth sports a ton, as you know. I have family members who spend a lot of time officiating high-level IHSA varsity-level sports, from volleyball to basketball to baseball to softball to football. Family members at the varsity level, high varsity level, around good athletes. And it's just commonplace to just use the F word. When a child is doing that, I don't know what the IHSA says about it, but when a child is doing that, I mean, if you're like, for instance, a football field, I think football is probably where it is the most common. Should there be any expectation placed on 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young men to clean up their language in a football setting at this point in time?
100% yes.
Yes?
100% yes. Yeah, you have to. And make it clear. These things are not okay to say. I understand if you get mad, and maybe the ref could look the other way once in a while, but you still have to have the standard there to tell kids it's not okay.
I think it's not a matter of hearing it like a few times a game. It's a few times per sentence said.
I know. Yeah, it would really help a lot. Like, I don't know why we've decided to just not hold up certain standards, but that's a good one. That's a really good one to say. No, when you are representing your team, you don't go out there and cuss. And here's a list of words you're not allowed to say.
Rick says, does the use of the F word get an athlete thrown out of the game? I think it only depends. I mean, unless you're working in a Christian environment, like a Christian school, which is one of the reasons I send my kids to Lutheran schools, you might get yanked from the game by your coach. I mean, if I heard, and there have been instances as a coach where that has come into play and we've had to have a talking to, and it was one time to say, this is not permissible. And they were like, oh, yeah, absolutely, this is not permissible, and it never happened again. If you turn the ball over and you say a cuss word, that's one thing. I think in like secular settings, if it's you're effing awful, you're gonna get in trouble for that. So I think it's not the word so much as it is the implementation.
It's just like most other things. We talk about this with smoking weed, not edibles, but with smoking it or alcohol. If it's affecting you do whatever you're gonna do. If it's affecting me, then you've crossed the line. It's the libertarian thing. And I've been in situations at a baseball game, for instance, or a hockey game, where the person, I've got my kid with me, the person behind you is just cussing like crazy. And you're like, look, I actually don't care that you're cussing. I do care that now my kid is with me, and now he's hearing these words constantly, and he wants to know what's going on. You have now crossed into my life. anytime you cross into my space, now the rules change.
You also have to, but you have to have an agreeable baseline of what is acceptable in culture.
And we just don't.
Well, I think that the ability that progressives have had in pushing aside religion, any kind of religion, and trying to make us a very completely secularized society. I mean, I don't know. Are there less Christians than there were 40 years ago? Probably, maybe. I don't know. But you're not supposed to have any moral compass that's understood culturally to be based on religion. That you're supposed to keep to yourself. You could be a moral person, but if you're a Christian and that's where your morality comes from, that's for you. That's not for anyone else. But, they've got Jasmine Crockett up on the screen right now on Fox News. Like, the stuff that she's doing and saying is unbelievable. And if it's infiltrated Congress where you're still supposed to use words like gentle lady, if she's going to do that there, I mean, it's just like the culture has degraded so far. It didn't start with Jasmine Crockett in Congress. It's on the football fields. It's on the grade school football fields, on the peewee football fields. It's on the, you have these 11-year-old select baseball tournaments and kids are dropping F-bombs. Coaches are doing it openly in the dugouts to kids, to children. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why? Why is this okay?
What the blank is wrong with you?
Yes. Get your head out of your... Should it be... I mean, you have to have all hands in the middle culturally so that the people who are not hands in the middle are the outsiders to say this should not be acceptable behavior.
It's so
for
typical
children.
too. The George Carlin 7 words you can't say on TV and all that stuff. The artistic argument was always, well, free speech. I want to be able to say and express myself however I want. I get that. That's an artistic way of looking at speech. However, if you're really just approaching it through that lens, having constraints on what you can say actually helps you because then you can come up with bits and use it and go around it. If it's just a free-for-all, all those words really lose meaning, which is why we're getting to the point where Congress is yelling them because it's just, you got to go higher and higher and higher to get a reaction using those words.
I think that there's an element of self-control in it too. It's not so much that we're creating a barrier to saying anything, but what we want to do is create a format where we teach people that self-control is really important and you don't allow your emotions to overwhelm you and then something slip out.
But it's also, self-control, it's how you present yourself to other people, but it's also respect for other people who are around you, that you would offer the respect to the people who, if you're in a football field, to the officials, to your opponents, that I respect you enough to not behave this certain way in front of you. I feel like one of the things that we really need to return to is thoughtfulness for people other than ourselves. Our self-aggrandizement is off the charts these days, and it's hard to raise kids in a world like that, especially with social media. More in the 2 o'clock hour. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Could you make $500,000 in retirement savings feel like $1 million? Or $1 million feel like $2 million? The key is having a comprehensive financial plan for taxes, Social Security, inflation, healthcare, income, and more. Discover how you could make money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class, Retirement Planning 101. Guys, it's Dave Glover from KMOX. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience. They're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. There's no cost. Just bring 3 canned goods for the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. If you've saved $300,000 or more for retirement, register by calling 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110. If, like me, you haven't quite had the pedal to the metal the way you should, or if you've had the pedal to the metal the entire time, either way, give us a call. We can help you out. We'll take you wherever you are. 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272 today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code QUOTE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code QUOTE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code QUOTE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
A message to the troops. Lisa Brady, Fox News in Greenland.
I want to bring a message for President Trump. He's grateful for your service, grateful for what you do up here, and we just wanted me to tell you that he's proud of you and he thinks about you.
Vice President J.D. Vance telling service members at a U.S. space base their mission is important for national security.
If a missile was fired from an enemy country or an enemy submarine into the United States, it is the people here before us who would give notice to our brave men and women further south in the United States to let people know what was coming and, God willing, to try to shoot it down and prepare for it. That's one of the things that we do at installations like this.
But he argues that Greenland is less secure than decades ago and that Denmark hasn't done enough to keep the Danish territory safe from aggressive incursions by Russia, China, and others. President Trump telling reporters earlier,
we need Greenland, very importantly, for international security. We have to have Greenland.
Reporters just asking Vance if that means acquiring the territory. Vance says the U.S. respects Greenland's right to self-determination, but that more security is needed, and they hope for a U.S. partnership. Vance also just repeating that the president stands by his entire national security team, accusing the media of obsessing about a group chat leak of airstrike plans. The Senate Armed Services Committee plans a bipartisan investigation. The administration denies any classified information was included. A federal judge just extending his previous restraining order on deportation flights of suspected gang members, now blocking them until at least April 12th. That issue, the president's use of a wartime law.
President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act after declaring Tren de Aragua a foreign terrorist organization.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. The Justice Department is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene and allow deportations to restart. America is listening to Fox News.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month.
Definitely a very smart move.
Get both and watch Star Wars Andor Season 2 and Mufasa the Lion King on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of stories with all of us.
On Hulu, it's the new season of The Handmaid's Tale and A Complete Unknown.
Give a warm welcome to Bob Dylan.
Don't miss your last chance to get Disney Plus and Hulu together for just $2.99 a month for 4 months. New and returning subscribers, 18 plus only. After 4 months, plan auto renews at $10.99 a month until canceled. Offer ends 3/30/25. Terms apply.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Mostly sunny skies. It's windy and it's warm as we go through our Friday afternoon, 80 for the high. Tonight, the clouds take over 60. Saturday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, but let's expect some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, 75 and windy. Sunday, best chance for some rain, periods of rain, and some thunderstorms around, 75, colder for a day on Monday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
I love the way he articulates things together, examples with all his stage members up there at all different levels, which is wonderful to see and inspiring.
That's Orlando on his Expo experience. It's coming again. Join Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited for Expo 2025, May 7th through the 10th in Irving, Texas. Get hands-on training from successful real estate investors and learn proven strategies that work. Find out more and save $100 when you text Expo to 88007, EXPO to 88007.
Are you looking for an easy way to get a daily detox? Active Liver is available in both the delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle of your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
97.1 FM Talk is proudly supporting the Guns N' Hoses Queen of Hearts raffle, benefiting the St. Louis Backstoppers. Learn more at STLGunsandHoses.com and listen to the Mark Cox Morning Show Fridays at 8:20 for winner announcements.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Let's up, let's ride. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, you know that means it's 2:07 on a Friday, which means it's Ryan Wiggins' time to take over and do the show, and he's not prepared.
You asked me during the intro to bring up an article. And I'm working on it.
I didn't tell you to bring up an article.
You did.
I said, do you have anything?
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm aware of things.
I'm aware of things, as usual, but I don't have things. So if you were to have things, I would say I'm aware of that.
I have the whole week.
Yes, you do. It's your show.
YouTube live chat poll, is cussing okay? Feel like it might be right now.
Go ahead. I give you permission. Say the bad ones too.
I know you just want my spot. If I went down for whatever particular reason, dead, fired, sick, ill, would you stand in this spot to host the show, or would you stay in your spot?
I do stand in that spot when I host the show.
I know, but you're pretending to be me then. You'd have to be you.
No.
Would you keep the name of the show?
For a little bit, probably a couple days.
Out of respect?
Yeah, out of respect. We'd come on that first day, and I'd say, let's play a dirge. And I'd have Brad play something really sad like Careless Whisper. And I would say, okay, everybody, I just want you to know that Annie's dead.
I just had a terrible thought.
What?
You delivering my eulogy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Well, I won't have a say in it then, which is what really scares me.
Everybody, Annie has gone on. She has gone on
and on and on and
yeah,
on.
and I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm saying she's dead, and she went to heaven.
I have to say that if I was going to be eulogized by two people, you two could maybe give the best combined eulogy, both like Jesus and comedy.
I'd do the Jesus part. Brad would try to bring the comedy, and I'd be like, that is wildly inappropriate at a funeral. Good gravy.
But it would be your idea to do it that way.
It would be, yeah. I would throw you under the bus immediately, just like I would if she had died, and I would say,
"Is that how I died?"
We need to give her
and to lighten the mood, Brad's going to do a few jokes.
Yeah, we need to give her her proper due, and just let you know she was great. Man, she lived a great life, and then I'd be like, "Listen to what Pam Bondi said this week."
and then you'd say, "And that in radio is what we call a segue."
Yep.
You'd tell him. You'd explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do my eulogy like Ryan Shire Wigglesworth?
Well, I wouldn't do it in character. Actually, I would do it in character.
You are a character.
I would do it in the character of super sadness.
You'd pretend to be super sad. Thanks. I appreciate that.
I guess that would be unfortunate that I'd have to go into character to do that. But yeah, I would want to make sure that everybody there knew that you will be missed.
Yeah.
And I would do this for you. I would shake my fist at the sky. I'd be like, why? And just because of the poll question today, I'd be like, why? Oh, damn it. Why? Why? And I'd fall down to my knees.
You'd be standing at the head of my casket with books to sign.
Yeah.
You'd be placing one in the casket.
Yeah. Go softly into that good night.
I know you'd want to take this with you. The grocery list.
Hold on, let me
my
sign
latest
that
book.
first.
I'd try to rush my next book out by the time your funeral came, because I knew that'd be a pretty big crowd. You're pretty young. Young people, when they die, man, huge crowds. So I'd want to capitalize. Yep. I'm getting a phone call. Hang on. My dad telling me to stop it.
Too far, Ryan. Too far. Here. Can I make a deal with you?
I don't know.
You can sign 5 books for charity at my funeral.
Proceeds or full profit?
What do you mean?
I want to keep some of it.
You don't. You're not sunk in this thing a certain amount of money that you need to get back.
That's not true. It's like $4 or $5 per book.
You can spare it for the charity. 5 books autographed by Ryan Wiggins. I hope I don't die soon, because that would be so tragic if this was prescient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck. Put it on a silent auction at my funeral, and then you got to donate all the people can bid on them, and you have my permission.
Where does the proceeds go? Do you allocate it or do I?
The Annie Fry Show scholarship, Lutheran School scholarship.
That's a good spot for it.
Okay.
he's
all of it.
He's like
every penny.
Equal parts disappointed.
It's going to be audited by Brad Range and Elon Musk.
Yeah, I'm bringing Doge in on this.
At least there's an auction with these things, because I don't make the profit margin on each book low. And your scholarship would be making maybe $20 after 5 books.
That'd help a kid.
So, but if it's a silent auction, they could really bid that up, and I would talk that up too at your funeral.
I can't wait Well, I can wait. I'd be dead. I would know. But that would be a very amusing way to be sent off.
Yeah. She went over that rainbow bridge.
Oh, no, wait. That's her dog. I told you. Did you not have anything prepared?
I have a ton prepared. It's for your funeral, but I got to hold on to it.
I didn't ask you to prepare for that. I asked you to prepare for Friday.
Oh.
Or
okay.
any day.
Well, this is the way I prepare is preparing for major life events, not for the show.
Go on. Take it from here.
No, it's for your death.
No, I'm talking about the actual show. I'm trying to move on.
Get this, everybody.
This is the eulogy, guys.
Pam Bondi has called for 3 D.C. judges to be removed because they cannot be impartial.
Is this really what you're doing? At 2:13
This is
on
what
a Friday?
I do. This is what I do.
No, this is not what you do. You've spent since Friday, or since the whole week, you've been thinking it's Friday. And Friday at 2:13, you want to talk about activist judges?
Heck yes, I do. Those people need to get out of the way. They are unconstitutional.
I saw a comment earlier in the YouTube chat, and I'm probably going to screw this up, but it says President Donald Trump leaves the presidency to become a more powerful activist district judge.
It's a good one.
Do you think that the Justice Department, are you happy with Pam Bondi? Give her a grade.
I give her a C+ so far because I think she's setting a lot of things up. She said earlier this week, actually, I was talking about this with Mark Cox this morning, that she kind of snuck in a comment during one of those random press conferences they do where a bunch of people just at a desk. She said, yeah, we are looking into a lot of this fraud and misuse of funds from NGOs, and we're going to start prosecuting it. That's all she said. It was like, ooh, that's a huge comment right there that you just made, and there wasn't any more. So I think there's a lot happening. But, you know, the Jeff Sessions thing from term 1, we were doing the same thing going, there's probably a lot coming. And then he was a total whiff on everything.
The thing about Jeff Sessions is that he recused himself from the biggest case out there. And that's, I think that's more what frustrated everybody than anything else. He's like, oh, I'm going to step out of this. And then he didn't. And then as soon as they put in Bill Barr, I think it was, I mean, that came to an end. That Russia collusion investigation came to an end immediately.
When Pam Bondi was put in, when the Trump administration got in, everybody was really excited about, like, oh, justice, blah, blah, blah. And all I see people now is saying they want to see perp walks. I don't even think that people shaking their fists at the sky about this really care what category the perp walk started, but they want to see people. They want to see people arrested. Do you feel that sentiment? And if so, with whom?
There's not a particular person, but I am really excited. I mean, I really, really am like, this is the beginning of something big, is finding out how all these funds have been laundered through these NGOs, because it was such incredible. I mean, if you are an American criticizing the oligarchy, if you want to go be a part of the Fight Oligarchy tour, come on, give me a break and look at where the money's been going. Your tax money has been laundered through thousands and thousands of these things.
I'm not 100% sure that what's been done is like criminal.
And that's what I want to know, is because were they able to basically just be exploiting loopholes the whole time? Because here's the thing. Here's where I think they might get them. And there might be other stuff than this. But the big one that I'm interested to see Pam Bondi go after is if they're able to find that, you know, a random congressperson benefited on the back end from them moving these funds over and over and over. Can they link that to illegal campaign contributions? Because it's all shady, but you're right. Is it illegal? That's what we don't know. These are new things. We've never dealt with them before.
Man, the people I want to see perp walked are the people that were involved in prosecuting Donald Trump. You know, I want to know if a crime was committed there whenever they raided his home. I want to know, like, if somebody
What would the crime be?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I feel like there's this like reaching for the sky rage of why aren't we arresting people? And I'm like, I don't know. Was it unethical? Yeah. Was it an abuse of justice? Yes. Is it a crime? I don't know that it's a crime.
Well,
I don't know either.
I would think malicious prosecution would be a crime, to fabricate something and then try to put somebody in prison over something that wasn't true.
Like who?
Like it wasn't like an accident. I don't know, maybe Jack Smith or
But who was put in prison?
Nobody, but that was the attempt. And then as they got into it, the legal system did what the legal system's supposed to do and defend the innocent.
So then if I were they, I would say we thought we had a case and it wasn't strong enough and it wasn't prosecuted.
That's what the defense would be, but an investigation might reveal text or messages between administrations saying, hey, look, I don't care how you get it done, get this person in jail, and then you got something.
Yeah, like Ron's saying, I'm feeling a little like Charlie Brown and Lucy is holding the football for me. I feel like there's a difference between exposing all of it and naming every single bad actor that exists and making sure that those people, that their reputation is leveled exactly the way it should be based on the actions that they chose to take, the things they chose to participate in. And if it was unethical, if it was beneath the office that they served, that needs to all come to light. Yes, 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 yes. But I don't think that you're going to see lines of people in cuffs and chains being walked into the prison for all of time. Like, you're not going to get your Hillary Clinton orange jumpsuit moment. And I think what I've done for myself is I've tempered my expectations to understand that there is still the possible outcome that justice could be served in a way that exposure and truth is prioritized and we don't go down this avenue again. But I saw someone talk about like manipulation, deleting of evidence or whatever it might be. I would assume if you're tampering with evidence, that would be a crime. I don't think it's going to end up with people in jail.
Here's where I want to see this go, though, back to my original point about the NGOs, is that there's so much money in these things. So let's take just Stacey Abrams for an example. She got $2 billion to do what? Buy 100 stoves for a county in Georgia. $2 billion.
She was just supposed to tell him to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. She didn't even buy the thing.
She was just like an advocate.
That's right. I think she said, well, we were going to try to help them buy or something like that on CNN recently. But whatever. Like, that's an insane amount of money. $2 billion. Okay, then here's what our current administration needs to do. Start tracing every single dollar that went to that organization. Then where did it go? Because it would get moved to this one, and then it would get moved to this one. And trace it along the way. Now, you may not find that they did anything technically illegal along the way, but you may find something. They did something wrong, and here's where it really would get good, is that when they do this to not just Stacey Abrams, they do this to all these. There's thousands and thousands of these things, spending trillions of dollars. They do it to all of them. Somewhere along the way, you're going to find something that was corrupt and illegal, for sure. Something. That person, you get them to start squealing on everybody. You start turning the vice onto the people who you do have something on and get them to start talking. That's where I think it'll break open.
That's just like Devin Archer getting the pardon from Donald Trump this week, who has been open about what his experiences were working with the Biden crime family, essentially. And he is getting that pardon from Donald Trump. And now he could be an asset for truth-finding, fact-finding missions. I completely agree with that. I just think that the people who just want the visual of the perp walk, the people who get perp walk, you're never going to have heard of them.
No.
They are not going to be big names. You want to see this? Like, I think it's a waste of time and energy to look at all of the winning that this administration is having, will continue to have, by enforcing smart America First policies. I want to know where the corruption is, every ounce of it. Somebody mentioned the Epstein files. Yes, those people should completely be exposed for their sins and their crimes, and they should serve jail time forever and ever. Amen. Pedophiles, go away forever. I don't ever want to see you again. But the things that people talk about a lot when it comes to, especially like the activists, turning the justice system into some sort of political arm to try to keep Donald Trump from being the president once again, they lost that. President Trump being in office, in my opinion, is a bazillion times better than any perp walk would ever satisfy me. I don't want people to hear me say, like, I don't want arrests to be made. I want every single person who's committed a crime against this country for their own self-aggrandizement, for their own political benefit. I want all of those people to get exactly what's coming. I just don't think that the absence of the most egregious people who we've seen at the top of a lot of these stories being perped walk doesn't mean that the whole thing is a failure. Because we're not going to get that.
I agree. Yeah, the demand for images is what you like. Don't get caught up in that. Demand justice, not Twitter images.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Ryan will probably still not have anything. Is that accurate?
I'm going to walk out and get some content like you wouldn't believe.
Just take the things on the top of a Mark Reardon stack.
Okay, I'll do that.
We'll just lead with that.
Yeah.
He's at a fish fry today. When we come back, we'll tell you where the fish fry is, and we'll try to get it right this time as well. The YouTube live chat poll is cussing okay? Yes, and you do cuss. Yes, but you don't cuss. No, it's not okay, but I still do it a little bit. Or, no, it's not okay, and I don't do it. Annie Fry YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AnnieFry. Go vote. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X @AnnieFryShow.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Triton Exteriors. I think you have picked up by now that I am big fans of this company. I'm big fans of Tim, the owner. I just trust him. I think he does a great job at customer service. Also, I really want to push the James Hardy Smart Siding. So we just came through some really bad storms, as you know. Because of the way the Smart Siding is made, the way it's manufactured, the way it's installed, if you had James Hardy Smart Siding, you would not have had any damage to your siding. Just something to put in your equation as you make these decisions. If you did have some damage, or you're afraid you did, whether it's wind damage on your roof or hail, your regular siding, your gutters, your fences, you can't do better than reaching out to my friends. It's Triton Exteriors. Call 314-717-1159 or go online at triton-stl.com. You can absolutely trust these guys. They'll do a great job for you. 314-717-1159 for Triton Exteriors.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9-all-zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan and be ready for the first heat wave. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 On Command. Just tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app and stay on top of everything happening anytime, even when you're not close to a radio. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X @AnnieFryShow.
Nobody's even looking me in my eyes. Can you take my hand, finish my drink, say, shall we dance? Hell yeah. You know I love you, did I ever tell you? You make it better like that. Don't think I fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Yeah, I always feel like I'm nobody. Who wants to fit in anyway?
Ethan, what's your middle initial?
C.
C. All right. People who asked. Yesterday we talked about middle names, and people are going to guess your middle initial. Now, you're going to hop out of here in just a minute to go to the Mark Reardon Fish Fry. Brad, this week's Mark Reardon Fish Fry is located...
Okay, so this week it's located in Queen of All Saints Catholic Church.
Okay.
And it looks like it's at 6603 Christopher Drive in St.
I was
Louis.
going to say what town? St. Louis?
Yep.
It's South County, but yes.
It's South County.
South
yeah.
County?
The
What
address.
what was the church again?
Queen of All Saints Catholic Church.
Queen of All Saints. All right, so you're going to be heading to there. We're going to let people guess your middle name, and we'll announce. You can write it down for us, and we'll announce what it is in the last segment.
Did they get anyone's correct yesterday?
My favorite so Ryan's middle initial is R. So we
Robert.
Rambo.
It is Robert.
Is it really?
We determined though that it should be Ryan Wiggins.
Or Reynolds.
Brad's was M, and so we thought it should be
Michelle.
Brad Mountain Range.
It's close.
Michael.
Or Mandrew.
Matthew. Or Mandrew. And mine is E, and the best suggestion there, I think, was Annie effing Fry.
Or Adele.
So, Adele. Elizabeth. So Ethan C. Hannaford, what will it be? Ron Mueller says Cornelius will have to wait and see.
Chumbawamba.
Ryan.
Chumba. They said jump. I was like, that doesn't start with a C.
You said you came prepared for this segment. I'm going to hand it over to you, sir.
I did. I pulled up some old audio that we haven't played in a while.
This better not be that thing.
No, it's not. It's not. This is something that you said on the show once that I want to highlight once again.
What? Am I embarrassed?
Kill it.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Do you remember that?
That was a while ago.
It was, but I'm going back to the vault here.
Did that have something to do with Disney?
I don't remember.
You don't even remember why
I don't remember the context. It was during Wiggins America.
I think you were talking about cologne. Was it Curve?
Oh, Curve, yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah?
Men's Curve. I'd like to smell that right now. Okay, I get it. Curve, 1998. An Aspen, that was a good cologne.
Tommy.
Mm-mm.
I had a bottle of Tommy that I never used, and it just sat there and got old. And I think by the time I started actually thinking, I could use that, it probably had rotted.
That's this could be an interesting X's and Y's question. But cologne, my husband has nice cologne now, but I helped him pick out some stuff, and so I like what he has, obviously. But the cologne that young teenage boys wear, I think, is a smell that sticks with young teenage girls throughout the course of their life. Like, you see Curve, and you're like, Johnny. And you see Aspen, and you're like, Bobby. Am I wrong? Girls, am I wrong?
Wild.
You remember the person that you smelled it on?
Heck yeah.
Here's the thing:
and you wore so much of it.
Here's the thing, though, is that no one. It's all the same now. It's Axe. Everyone wears Axe. They don't middle school boys don't wear cologne now.
No, that's not true.
Not anyone I went to middle school with.
High school boys?
I didn't wear it in high school.
High school boys are kind of into cologne.
Really?
Yes.
Axe?
My son wears cologne now.
What does he wear?
Charlie.
It's a Ralph Lauren.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie. He's going to kill me. Well, I mean, I care about it for him. He needs to smell good.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird to think that someone's going to smell something someday and be like, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Axe was genius.
Marketing.
They were so good at it.
You'd spray it on you, and a woman would come from 3 miles away and just throw themselves on time.
Did you use Axe?
And
I don't think so. I think I got some for Christmas at some
point.
point.
He went up to the prettiest girl in the school and was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
That's all there is
Maybe
to it.
It would have worked if he would have had the Axe.
Walk around just shooting my stink at him.
Ew, gross. I did not like that. Can we clip that?
No, let's play this instead.
I'd like to smell that right now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Especially in light of my comment. That's weird to say, Annie.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Smell the shooting stink.
No. Foul.
You know what's great? What's amazing
Technical
about
foul.
Axe? What's amazing about
Flagrant foul.
Axe is that they would do stuff like, and this is probably what, 2000, 2005 in that zone.
Yeah.
Is they'd go in the ads, well, pheromones. And you're like, that's science. I mean, girls are basically just going to fall down in front of me.
They're doing that again. Like, have you seen the ads on like the YouTube Shorts and stuff like that? You'll flip through, and it'll be like a girl talking about this one. She'll be like, "Oh, let me smell this," and it's like, "Oh," and it's like, "Oh, pheromone cologne," and it's like real thin. It's like a little bitty vial.
It's just the science.
And it's science.
And
you were talking about something else.
was I?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about Axe, and they
Yeah.
just associated the word pheromones with it.
Yeah.
He's talking about actually putting pheromones in scent.
But here's the thing.
This
Here's
is
the
different.
thing. No. I think he's on the same track as I am, because you just say pheromones and like people go, oh, well, that must be true.
Guys hear it and go, cheat code.
As if you could take pheromones, bottle them in such potent liquid that people could overcome any barrier
Any
to
barrier,
wanting to have
and not
sex
only
with you.
that, they smell that and then they remember your name for the rest of their life.
That's the part.
It's only if they like you. It's not the scent that matters. It's the boy. But you remember the
But that's
scent
where
that
the
goes with the boy.
pheromones come in.
Yeah. Ooh, pheromans.
Pheromans.
I think we just have a new product right
Yeah.
there, trademarked.
I don't think that's how trademarks
Called
work.
it.
You're declaring it.
Dibs.
I declare trademark
Yes.
right now.
Can I get a lawyer on that one, please?
Yeah,
Dibs?
Brad Young, if you're listening.
I believe at 233 we implemented the infallible law of dibs for
Pheromans. It's a new product. Look, this is going to be out tomorrow. We're just going to go to
That's
some
verbal.
bottling
That's
facility.
how
Johnny
good this
Duncan's
product is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to write
Johnny
that
Duncan.
down.
Having trouble
Funky
at-
bunch.
That's going to be on a T-shirt.
Having trouble online dating? Why don't you go in person and take some pheromans?
Spell that. You're going to spell that with an F.
Now,
you know.
Brad, this is clearly a collaboration.
Right.
So, like, tell me if I'm off here.
Double
But I think this should be a patch.
A patch?
Mm-hmm.
You got to wear it on your face, though, so the women know.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, just on your
What does that
cheek.
mean?
Ooh, man, that guy's...
It's
like a
wearing
nicotine patch, but
on your face.
It goes right over your nose.
Pheromans.
Like,
What color
look,
is it?
It smells
Camo.
good, and he doesn't snore.
That way you can't see it.
That way it's-
He was so ready for that camo.
You got to wear a camo nose guard, and then people will be like, whoa, man, that guy, I want to have his babies.
It didn't get any more manly than that.
Yeah. You can't even see part of his nose if he was in the woods.
We're about 3, 2, 1 from someone coming on the chat going, well, this has gone off the rails.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Stop it.
I got one more thing I could play from that.
Men's curve. I would like to smell that right now.
So we remember Annie saying that, and then from the vault, do we remember this?
Stop it. No, don't.
I'd like to smell that right now.
I'd like to smell that right now.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Smell that. Smell that.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Smell that.
I'd like to smell that right now.
I hate you.
Smell that. Smell that. Smell that. Smell that. Smell that.
I'd like to smell that right now.
Smell that. Smell that.
When does it end?
Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
Is that the new jingle?
Let's talk about Ryan's funeral.
Can that be the new 2 o'clock open?
No.
Can there be a
He
chocolate
already
fountain?
has one. At your funeral?
Mm-hmm. I want a chocolate fountain, and if we could do it, some sort of like licorice man. Like a guy who just walked around with a licorice cart.
Like the Burning Man?
Yeah.
Get your licorice.
Get your licorice here. Ryan's dead. It's free.
I thought you were
Wave
saying
your
you
hand,
wanted
he
that
tosses
at
it across.
Annie's.
No, this is at my funeral.
Oh.
I'm respecting her funeral.
Yeah, right.
I would speak and
You're
like I said
signing
before,
autographs at my head.
signing autographs, whatever, make a couple bucks on the side, make it worth my time. But I'd fall down on my knees. You heard me say this. I would fall down on my knees and cry to the sky.
You said you were going to be a character.
Yes,
That
a
was
sad
sad.
character.
And you would show your acting abilities.
Anybody want some licorice? We've got all different types, not just the Twizzlers. Schweitzer.
I have so many regrets.
No words. No words.
As I understand it,
It's funny. Words is all we need right now, and yet
certain flavors of licorice aren't real. Like the modern Twizzler, that's not real licorice, as I understand it.
What makes a licorice real?
I'm not really sure. I think black licorice is real, and there might be a
you
cherry.
don't know what
or
the stipulations are, but yet
I don't.
striking from the record certain kinds of colors.
Yeah, I think once they
licorice.
flavor it with certain flavors,
You're
it
a
becomes.
licoriceist.
Well, you know what? Let's take this to the web.
Do you have a sound remix for this too? What are you Googling?
I can see if I have a sound. Is this the sound remix for the licorice thing?
Stop it!
I'd like to smell that right now.
Oh no, I don't think that was it. We could play that at my funeral though too. If anybody's, you know what? Let's just play that at Annie's funeral. She wouldn't care, you know.
I will come back to life to kill you. I will get you. Okay.
And I'll let you have this. Like as we said, if you call dibs, you got it trademarked.
I'm gonna drive so carefully home today. The speed limit 10 and 2 the whole time.
Because if you don't want this, I'll take it. Do you want your body on sort of like a spring load in the coffin?
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
So you're taking that?
That's mine.
Okay.
Thanks for deferring. I really feel respected right now.
Will there be something like what?
Really, the takeaway from this segment is just great deference and respect from Ryan towards me.
What will cause it to eject?
When enough people are there and they go, well, Ryan's dead. That'll be the key word.
It's like a Ryan in the box.
So it'll be voice
Yeah,
activated.
voice activated. I'm assuming the technology will be there because I'm not planning on dying real soon.
Oh, okay.
But when I do, well, Ryan's dead, and then boom, I pop out. I don't really know if I say anything yet. I think I just sort of wave at everybody, and I sort of am like going back and forth like a Jack in the Box still. Like
Ryan, stop it.
The licorice guy's standing next to you.
Yeah, he's shocked.
Get your licorice.
Yeah. No, he's got to stop for a second out of deference to the bit.
Some of us will be right back.
When we walked in, I said, I'm sorry.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You're making me feel like maybe I am somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby.
It's almost time for baseball's return to St. Louis. Get ready to watch your Cardinals take the field at Busch Stadium. From home runs and fireworks to historic plays and rising stars, there's no better way to catch Cardinals baseball than with thousands of friends, old and new, in the sea of red. Grab your tickets now to join the fun in Cardinals Nation. Visit Cardinals.com for tickets and info. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Game tickets? Check.
A round of cold beers? Check.
Ballpark hot dogs? Check.
Baseball is back, and nothing beats a night out with the guys.
Or ladies.
At a Cardinals game.
From thrilling games and mouth-watering eats to the iconic ballpark energy, Busch Stadium is the ultimate spot for you and your crew to dive into America's favorite pastime.
Make your next night out the best one yet. Join us at Busch Stadium, where every hour is happy.
For tickets, visit Cardinals.com.
St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly. It's all through Medicaid, and as a St. Louis resident, it's 100% free to you. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area, this service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1272. That's 800-587-1272 today.
You have a job to do. You have
yes.
one job to do.
I was writing down Ferriman idea. Make a commercial later. All right. The YouTube live chat poll. Is cussing okay? Annie, is cussing okay?
Heck yeah, it's okay.
YouTube live chat poll. There it is.
No, it's not okay.
You can participate by going on YouTube. 243. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
This one is a lie. Sat around laughing and watched the last one die.
Around him more than 1 year before November's election. The authors write, in hush-hush talks starting in 2023, officials gamed out Biden withdrawal scenarios. A grim addition to that, aides to former Vice President Harris, quote, strategized around the possibility that Biden might die in office. In a new...
So it was a year before the election took place. Of course, Joe Biden is still in the running to be president, to run for a second term. And the staffers were figuring out, what do we do if he dies while he's here?
Speaking of funerals.
How much deceit did people think that this is very hard for me to think out, because there are multiple different scenarios that require so much more deceit than others. Did they think that everybody sees him, everybody knows his condition? Because we did. We talked about Joe Biden's condition. We talked about it when he was running for office in the primary. People would joke about his mental acuity then, and that's when we got shamed for making fun of a man with a stutter. Did they think everybody knows? They voted for him, and they know. They're smart enough to see with their own eyes and think with their own brains. They know what's going on here, and they voted for him. They're okay with this. So it's our job to pick up and make the most of what we can with the current situation. Or when you look at the coverage of this administration over the course of 4 years' time, when all of the chastising for anybody who dare say something to the effect of deep fake videos, cheap fake videos, is that what they said? When they were trying to explain Joe Biden's behavior as completely normal. Do you remember how many times different staffers, Vice President herself, would say, like, I can't keep up with Joe Biden?
Oh, yeah.
That was a common thing that they said.
Yeah. Like, oh, picture this man in joggers because he is always running.
And I'm thinking, I think that means we just have two problems instead of one problem. What the heck were we doing for 4 years? What were they doing? Who knew what? And who knew how bad? And who knew how much? And who said, this is how we're going to handle this situation? And really, why is it that it took till July to pull him out of the race? How much did Jill, I mean, my assumption is just Jill couldn't let go, clinging for dear life to the idea of still being in the presidency. What was that behind the scenes like? I really, that's one of the things that I want to know the most about the last 4 years.
It was a collective moment where everybody decided, you know what, we've gone through with this charade for long enough that I think we can't back out of it now. So we're going to go all the way in. And I do believe that some in the media actually thought at that time, may still think this, although they lost the election, that they could control truth, that they really were in charge of the national narrative, and that if they said it and enough of their colleagues said the same thing, that they could force that to be the truth.
I feel like propping somebody up as a figurehead and running the government from some bureaucratic, unelected committee type of a thing is treasonous. I don't think that should ever be allowed to happen again. You know, if you want to talk about, we were talking about Pam Bondi before. I'm not super high on Pam Bondi. I've never been like, I'm like all about Pam Bondi. She's always seemed a little overinflated in my mind, but I don't have enough against her to be like, okay, I trust Trump on this. I do. Do I think Eric Schmidt? Do I think Ron DeSantis? Do I think Andrew Bailey could all do a great job? Yes. Would it be better than her? I don't know. I those are all people who I would love to have seen as Attorney General. I want to know what level of deceit was employed in the Biden presidency, for how long and how big, how many people were in on it. Somebody, we've said this before, somebody's going to write a book. The first person to write a tell-all book is going to make a boatload of money off of it. Get on it. Write that book. Publish it.
Well, Jake Tapper did. He wrote a book about how the media had deceived everybody and was lamenting the fact that the media had deceived everybody about Joe Biden. So I guess he's kind of first to the bowl, the punch bowl.
Going back to the earlier segment in the show, Brad's inquisitive question about how frequently we get high. Pastor.
It wasn't how frequently. It was just
it wasn't how frequent. Whatever,
ever?
man. People just hanging out.
Gosh, it's just good that Donald Trump's the president. I this, you know, on Fridays when we would have a kind of let loose show.
Do we?
I've always, yes, some more than others, Ryan. Just rewind, go listen to the podcast that you have to produce here in a minute at the 2 o'clock hour, and then delete it from existence.
Don't delete it. Just listen to it on repeat.
AnnieFryShow.com/podcast. I just think about how when people talk about our show, when people come up to me and talk about what we do here, and you know, we are guessing quite a bit on what we're doing on the show. We get to manifest the show the way we want to. We are not micromanaged in any way, shape, or form. So it's really, truly very honest what we do here, because this is just really who we are. So when I talk to people about Brad or Ryan or Ethan, and you talk about feeling like you know us, this is very, really honest to the people who we actually are, especially Ryan. That's exactly how he is. But
except for the free licorice. That'll cost you.
The Biden years, I mean, it's kind of like getting punched in the gut over and over and over again to see this is what they're going to do now. This is what they're going to do now. And knowing that they're sprinting towards a goal that you completely disagree with. It's costing America its future. They're mortgaging your grandchildren's ability to live in a free, safe country when you know that your debt is going to be a huge, huge liability in the future, as it is right now. It's tough. It's difficult. And we wanted to create a space where you could come here from noon to 3 and you could listen to the show and you'd find out, you know, the latest news of the day that Elise Stefanik stepped down yesterday or removed herself from the position of being UN ambassador because she needs to stay focused in the House. They need to make sure they don't lose that seat. You want to know that Elon Musk and the people behind Doge, as we played in the, 1225 segment today, the specifics, the details of what they're doing to advocate for the American taxpayer, the American American citizen in the money that they use to fund the government that wants to overregulate them, to overrun them, to control them, that we actually have a check and balance on this. We know that you want to know those types of things. We know that you want to talk about, the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, what's strong about the Republicans, what's strong about the Democrats, what are the weaknesses. We know that you want to know all of those things. But no person in their right mind can 24/7 soak in the details and the constant, scoreboard check. Are the Republicans winning today? What's Signalgate? Better look into this. I'm thinking that maybe the D's put up a point on the board. And then that gets your day down. I mean, I think we prove on this show with the audience that we've amassed right now that during the Biden years, we could still have fun. During the Biden years, we could still get through the day with things that really matter, even more than politics, enjoy each other's company, laugh a lot about things that are still funny, and get through it. But I'm going to tell you that in the Trump years, and it's like literally the Trump months, because now we get to say there are two of them. In the Trump months, the winning feels so good.
Well, it's because there's optimism. You're like, some of these problems. I don't disillusion myself that every single problem in America is going to be solved by Donald Trump, but I've been very concerned for a long time that we're over the financial cliff. I've said it before. I think we actually are over the financial cliff. It's not as if we're close to it. We're over it. Can Trump solve that? I never thought there was a president in the past that was going to take it on. I think he could solve it. I don't know that he will, and I don't know how long it'll give us. Hopefully another several generations of America as we know it. But I have optimism now that these things could be solved.
And it never, ever would have happened if Trump would have won in 2020.
That's a fact.
It would not have happened like this. You want to talk about, I'm going to say it out loud, divine intervention. Whatever that was, however it happened, thank God that he had us in the palm of his hands the entire time. It's really amazing. And we're just grateful that you're here and that you're still going through this moment with us. And I also know for a fact that there are people listening right now who hate Donald Trump. You think he's the devil. You listen to the show because you get to peek behind the curtain and see what the other side is doing. And I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope that when you listen to the show to figure out what the red side is doing, that sometimes you chuckle along with us, even if it's at Ryan.
I don't appreciate that, though.
I don't care.
I don't like laughs.
Ethan's middle name begins with a C.
Bunch of suggestions.
Real quick, hit him through and we'll tell you what it is.
Copper Top, Ethan Christian, Ethan Christopher, Corky, Ethan Cheeseball, Coolio, Ethan Chesapeake, Cool Water, Ethan
Cool Water, that's a good set.
Ethan Cardinals, Ethan Constitutional Hanford.
Constitutional.
And none of those are right.
None of those are right. What is it?
Well, he's not in here to say it.
No, we said we would reveal it.
But it was, and continues to be, coal.
Coal. Spelled?
C-O-A-L, charcoal. I assume.
Did you want to upgrade his name? You want to change it to any of those?
I think we can go with Cheeseball.
Cheeseball is what I was thinking. YouTube live chat poll for today. Is cussing okay? Brad, your answer to this question?
No, but I do.
Ryan?
No, you...
He's a liar.
He is a liar. He doesn't ever
overcompensating.
cuss.
He's over-repenting.
No, and I don't.
Also, not true. Ryan's a yes, and I do. That's the wild part of this. It is true. I say no, cussing is not okay, but I do cuss a little. Here's the breakdown. 4% of you say yes, cussing is okay, but I don't. That's the minority there.
Okay.
22% say no, and I don't cuss. 33%, a third of you say yes, you cuss, or yes, it's okay, and yes, you do cuss. And 41% with me, no, it's not okay, but I sure do it. Mark Reardon Fish Fry, next.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going going slower.
Izervay or avacin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
And a lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, I'm usually much more active, but since I've been in pain, I've had to limit the activities I'm doing.
You're listening to Janelle, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
So he came in and he wanted to be able to keep up play sports with his kids. And from there, we figure out which arch supports complement those activities. I fit him with the arch supports, and as I followed up with him, he's messaged me and said, I took my kids to the park today. We're walking, we're exercising, riding the bikes, and those are all things that he wasn't doing before because he was in pain.
For over 25 years, the Good Feet store's arch support specialists have been helping folks to live the life they love without foot, knee, hip, or back pain getting in the way.
Our goal is to have that long-term change for them. That's what's most important, is knowing that you leave an impact on someone's life. And I like that.
Try them for yourself. Stop in for a free personalized fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Friday plunge on Wall Street. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow down 716 points at the bell after the Fed's favored inflation report did not show any cooling, and the core readings without food and energy were higher than expected, up 0.4 for the month, 2.8% year over year. A separate report showing falling consumer sentiment, and that's in addition to any tariff anxiety.
We have Liberation Day, as you know, on April 2nd.
President Trump reaffirming his plan for reciprocal tariffs to begin next week, along with auto tariffs, after holding his first call today with Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney.
And I'm not referring to Canada, but many countries have taken advantage of us, the likes of which nobody even thought was possible for many, many decades, for decades. And, you know, that has to stop.
The president says he has a very good and productive call with Carney, who gave a speech yesterday vowing to fight back, and says he told the president today retaliatory tariffs are planned. But both leaders say they agree to
the stage. All right, audio check. If you can hear me, say pepperoni. Put it in the chat. Ooh, bad lighting. I might need to turn this a little bit. My office has, that's better, except it's just not high. So now you guys get to look up my nose. So I got something I can stack it on. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. See what we're looking like now. Much better. All right. We got people in the chat here. Hey guys, how you doing? Can you guys hear me okay? Is it good audio? Oh, I got some pepperoni pizzas and stuff like that in there. Oh, it's shaking. All right, so just a little, this is my office. Well, our office. This is sitting on Annie's desk right now. But to that side, there's 2 windows, and to my right, there's 2 windows, and it's just really bright in here. And my computer sits over there, so you can see it over there. That's why I moved over here, because the light was backlighting, and then I look like a shadow, so I didn't want to do that. So we're gonna do this. It'll be short, that sort of thing, but it's always fun. Yeah, Scooter got it. It's Cole. But you spelled it wrong, Scooter. It's C-O-A-L. He likes a alternative spelling. At least that's the joke. I'm going to grab something out of my mini fridge here, and then if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat, or if there's anything like, what do you guys think? I want to know kind of what you guys think about the show, so I might have some questions for you, too. All right, stand by. All right, I am not going to eat on stream, but I will definitely drink my tea on stream. No, it's not Cuddles, Katie. I'm sorry. Or Kate. So, hey, have you guys filled out the survey and stuff on Annie's website? It's linked in the description down below. But we would definitely like to hear your feedback on the show. And I mean, if you guys want to share some feedback here, that'd be great too. Dash, are you saying Elon is coming to the St. Louis dealerships? Because if you are, you need to be serious about that so that I can try to get him on the show. Or that we can get somebody out there so that we could get him on the show. Scooter filled out the survey. Everybody filled out the survey. What do you guys think? What's your favorite part of the show? Tell me in the chat. What's your favorite part of the show? Do you like the interviews? Do you like the 2 o'clock hours? Do you like Fridays? Do you like X's and O's? Do you like Ask Me Anything? All that stuff. Yeah. I figured out a lot of you guys had already filled out that survey. And then, how do you guys feel about only doing overtime once a week, but doing it like this on video? Because we're trying to like figure out. Oh, check this out. Haha. We're trying to figure out, like, I guess reach has been down a little bit on YouTube. We want it to feed more people. And we're trying to figure out if we can do things differently and stuff like that. I don't think that showing those replays actually help the stream. I think that it hurts the stream. So once a week is a good idea. That's from Scooter. Purple Lambo says the fan interaction personally. Are you talking about like just in general, or are you talking about like specific areas, Purple? Vicky says overtime once a week is good. Vicky loves Annie's monologue. Vicky's favorite day is Friday. The B or not the B is Kate's favorite. Scooter loves the call-ins. Scooter, be honest with me. Have you ever called in and we just didn't know it was you? Because we'd love to talk to you. I mean, I think it would be a fun interaction. I promise you nobody would be mean to you because Annie doesn't let me talk on the phone. So it would just be you and Annie talking and having a discussion. And I think that would be really good. And I think that you would be good on air. Don't ask me why I think that. I just have a feeling that you would be good on air. And I think a lot of that has to do with how you interact in the chat. So I'm encouraging you, Scooter, to call in. Andy K is on the chat a lot, and he likes to mix it up, and Andy has called in before. And it was a really good conversation. Andy actually he's come out to several remotes, especially at Rulers, and made donations. So, we disagree on a lot, but Andy's a good guy. Scooter, you said you never called into this show, but you've called into shows before then. Is that what I'm to gather out of that? Has anybody called into our show that's in the chat? I think we had Mike Goodsell yesterday call in, and he's on the chat. Scooter, the thing with the monologues is what I would have to do then is I would have to cut a monologue, or I would have to cut a monologue to save and upload on our YouTube page. And those monologues don't get a lot of traction on the YouTube page. And I don't even know if the interviews do, to be honest with you. Kate has called in. What was your favorite segment from today, guys? Tom stopped by a live. Yeah, for sure. Whenever we're on remote and we're out there and we're doing a live or whatever, and you stop by, tell us your name, but also tell us your screen name so that we can recognize you. I mean, a lot of you have, and it's always cool to put a face with the name, and we like doing that. Purple, if there was a way to hold a line that we would just call the Scooter line, we would do that, but our phone system isn't set up that way, so I couldn't do that. Jackie, when did you start watching today? Did you... Today was a little much. Russell likes when we goof off. Do you know today, when we invented our cologne, our boss was actually listening. Oh, Jackie, you're going to have to go back and watch the 2 o'clock hour. You missed out. Yeah, Scooter, you should just call into our show. It's no different than calling into those other ones. I mean, you've heard Annie interact with people who disagree with her, especially Michael. Michael calls in a lot. Michael's a good guy. Respectful disagreement, all that other stuff. I mean, as long as you don't call in and cuss somebody out, it's going to be fairly, cordial. Do we need to hear? No. Do we want to hear? Yes. We would like for you to call in. Russell, you ask about me having a show segment. I kind of do, but it really all just depends on what's going on in the news cycle and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be able to do like a Wiggins America daily segment and do what I do with producing the show. There's just only so much time in the day, and so it would be really hard for me to produce something like that. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Chris, did you leave the chat? When did you leave the chat? You're back. Fun facts. So Scooter said, I'd like to see Brad get a weekend show, and this is a fun fact for you guys. And I couldn't do this every week because, again, prep and then time. I would like to have a weekend at some point. But let's see, what was the weekend that we had the storm? Do you guys remember that weekend with all the hail and stuff? Which I saw Sunday, we're supposed to get more bad storms, and they're like, up to 2-inch hail. I'm like, great, that's what I need is more. But that weekend, the Ride at Home with Rich by Mosby Building Arts, that show, it's on Camel X, and then it comes over to 97.1. So it's on both. last week, Rich was on a flight in as the storms were hitting, and the way he described it was, he said that the wheels touched the ground and then the plane powered up and they took off. They diverted his flight because of the weather that was coming in. Well, when they diverted his flight, they landed him in Tennessee, and then he got a rental and he was driving back from Tennessee to try to make it back to the area. Well, what ended up happening was is he couldn't make the show, so I got a call from Steve, our boss. You guys all remember Steve from the show. And he's like, hey, this is the weirdest thing I'm ever going to ask you. Could you come in and basically quarterback this show? So they got 2 reps from Mosby Building Arts to come in and, answer the building questions. But then I kind of, outside of that, I hosted the show and kept it moving along, made sure we hit the breaks and stuff like that. So I'll fill in like that from time to time on different shows. I won't advertise it because it's usually a last minute thing. But like Ryan, whenever he does Wiggins America for the weekends, he's making that throughout the week. And I couldn't do anything like that as far as having my own show. And so that's a big reason why I haven't even asked for it. So, but I appreciate you guys saying that you think that I should have my own show. It's not in the cards right now. Maybe someday, but not today. Let's see here. Jackie, you said something. No, my siding is not fixed yet, Scooter. We're still going through it with the insurance company. Jackie, you said I need to help Reardon with his tech and naming conventions for bytes. Oh, for audio cuts and stuff like that. Fred Bottomer is Reardon's producer. He and Ethan take care of a lot of that side of it. Ethan does a lot of the tech side. But I don't know that it would be even welcome for me to help with that. So I'm not going to like elbow in back here, let me show you how to do this, you guys are doing it wrong. That's not my place. I would never do that to anybody. I wouldn't like it if somebody did it to me. So what happens with the sound bites, Jackie, that you're worried about? Because it sounds okay for me. What's a great story, Scooter? I'm curious. Oh, the story of how Annie got me on the radio? Yeah, just a listener like you guys. So for those of you who are new around here, I was just a listener. I found Annie on the weekends one time whenever I was jumping through YouTube, and I started listening and watching on YouTube whenever she was doing that. For a while there, she was broadcasting on 97.1's page, and then she started her own page, and so I jumped over there and started watching that. Was really interactive, didn't really miss a show like a lot of you guys do, which we were really super thankful for. And she asked me one time if I minded moderating the chat. So that's why, like, whenever you see the chat, I've got that little wrench by my name whenever I chat. That's because I'm a chat moderator, and that actually predates me joining the show. Well, COVID happened, everybody went home, it was all broadcast from home. I was bored, I was stuck at home too, so I was even more involved in the chat then. And when the previous producer, whenever she moved on, Annie reached out one time on Twitter, because Annie and I had interacted on Twitter via DM, all that other stuff, and just, talked about different, news and politics and stuff like that. And then she just reached out one time and said, hey, you should apply for this position. I'd never done anything like it before, never done radio, never anything. Like, the closest I came was I had a podcast with one of my friends on Cardinals baseball. So that's the only thing I've ever done that was anything like radio, and it was like super small. It was like 10 people watched and that sort of thing. But the people were nice. Oh, thanks, Nick. I'm going to put that up. Try to set that out there. Nick says, I support Brad's Unleashed show on 97.1. Thanks, Nick. Annie appreciates that $2. And it's $2, not $1.99, which is kind of cool. I wonder what changed. Now we got names for it. Yeah, Larry, Hannah's missed. Just real quick to finish the story, Annie reached out to me, said, hey, you should apply for this job, and I threw caution to the wind. I applied for the job, I got the job, and the rest is, well, you guys know, it's history. If you want to see my very first show, it was on September 7th of 2001. That was my first day on the job. That was the first time at the show. It was Annie's first day back in the studio. So if you want to go and see what that looked like and what it was for me, you can go back. It's on YouTube. You can see what I looked like, what was going on, all of that other stuff. Nick making the big bucks. Yeah, Hannah's doing great. See her every morning. She's I think they get done around 10, so I'm here by then, and so I get to see her every morning and all that other stuff. How scary was it my first time on the show? You know, this is going to sound really weird, but I wasn't afraid. I mean, I had met Ryan, we had talked. I knew most everybody from going to live events and stuff like that, so it wasn't like I was meeting a bunch of new people. But it was actually like, I don't know, this sounds kind of weird. It's like, oh, you're on the radio, are you scared? Not really, because we don't actually see everybody. It sounds like, I mean, it sounds weird to say, but it's like Ryan's in one spot, Annie's in another spot, I'm in my spot, and then Ethan's in his spot, and we just talk to one another, and then there's microphones in front of us, and so then we talk to you by talking to one another, and then sometimes we talk to you directly like we're doing now. So it wasn't really scary. I mean, it was just 4 people in a room plus Trisha. I think Carl was in there too, because I think Carl was running the board. Running and learning the board was the most intimidating part of it. Nope, no idea what she's doing now. Yeah, time does fly. And the multi-million view post from Amtrak. Yeah, and that guy retweeted me. It wasn't even my own post that got it. It was just my response to Amtrak. And Amtrak got a bunch of views because it was the original post that he retweeted, and mine was the first underneath it. But it was still fun. Carl's a lot of fun, Scooter. All right, it is 3:20. We've been going for an extra 20 minutes now. Does anybody have anything pressing that they want to ask first? And if not, I'm going to wrap this up because it's Friday, and I got to cut some commercials for Annie and then make some shorts. Also, hey, real quick, I do want to ask you guys, since thank you for sticking around and watching. Do you guys see the shorts whenever I upload them? And then whenever you see them, do you interact with them? Do you like them? Do you scroll past, that sort of thing? I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like on those shorts and then maybe hit the share button and send them to somebody. I think that really helps with the algorithm. Anything you guys do, like, interact, the chat is amazing. All of that stuff, YouTube looks at that and goes, well, this is a lively group, and it feeds it out to everybody else. So if you guys see those shorts, man, interact, leave a comment, share it, all of that stuff, super helpful. Also, if you guys find things in the show that you're like, oh, that would be a great short, put it in the chat and I'll mark it, because like whenever I run this program, I can hit a button and it puts a marker on the timeline and I can pull it out. So Tom, am I supposed to say hi to Adam? Hi, Adam. Yeah. Nick, that's your responsibility. I'm going to assign it to you. Nick says, got to remind them daily to like the stream, and that will help. Nick, I'm going to put that on you, and every time you comment, I'll put your comment up just like that. And anybody else, if you want to remind them daily to like the stream, it goes a long way. And if you haven't liked the stream yet, go ahead and like the stream. All right, guys. I am going to wrap it up here, and I will see you guys next week. See you on Monday. Hopefully we have a good show prepared for you then. All right, later, friends.